5 weeknights.
Staples Center in Los Angeles, where the Los Angeles Lakers, the two-time defending NBA champions, open their playoff series against the Portland Trail Blazers. Tom Hammond, Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones, Jim Gray at the Staples Center for Game 1 of this opening round Western Conference Series. There are the starters: Pippen, Wallace, Davis, Wells, and Stoudemire, Fox, Walker, O'Neal, Bryant, and Fisher for the Lakers. The officials. The officials: Dick Bavetta, Mike Callahan, and Monty McCutcheon, as Shaq called for a violation on the jump ball.
Good call. Shaq hit it barely out of the referee's hand, something that's become commonplace in NBA opening jump situations, and referees right on top of it.
So the Blazers with the first possession. During the regular season, these two teams split their series, each winning twice at home.
You can see right now, if last week's game was a physical and bizarre contest, this crew is not going to have any of it. And they call Rick Fox right away, trying to keep Bonzi Wells from getting position down in the low post. So this is going to be a tightly called, tightly contested game.
Come right back to Bonzi Wells down low.
Bonzi Wells shooting from outside, front rim, but tapped right back to Wells as the Lakers couldn't control the defensive rebound.
If Portland's going to have success against the Lakers down here, it's going to be ball movement, player movement.
Kobe Bryant got a piece of the shot. Wallace fires a three, no good. Missed on a tap by Wells, but the Blazers still have it. Stoudemire gives it up to Wells.
Run the shot clock way down now. You got everything in your favor.
Davis can't hit. And Fisher, pass deflected by Pippen, or Shaq would have had a throwdown.
I don't know if Rasheed Wallace was aware of the reset of the shot clock. This is a very quick three. It rims off. Perfect rhythm for Bonzi Wells over there. Can't get the easy stick back. Make a layup.
Samaki Walker misses the Lakers' first shot.
Now, Phil Jackson told us that he was going to dump it into Shaq every single time. And why not? Shaq in game 1 in the Phil Jackson 2-year era has just been nothing else than spectacular.
Samaki Walker must not have been listening.
Wallace had a good shot inside, missed 3 of them, and finally we get our first hoop of the game.
Stoudemire for 3 after the Blazers got another offensive rebound and a second chance bucket.
Blazers are posting up early. Bonzi Wells first possession. Rasheed Wallace the next possession. Scottie Pippen in the passing lanes twice already. He needs to play brilliant overall basketball, Scottie Pippen. He has not done well against the Lakers this year in the regular season, with the exception of the opening 20 minutes of last weekend's bizarre game.
Double overtime game in Portland, 128-120. The Blazers won. Kobe Bryant's first shot goes down. Kobe sporting a haircut.
Yeah, he's got his playoff due on, and we'll see if he has his playoff attitude with it, which means he's going to defend, he's going to score, he's going to make plays.
Davis trying to bring Shaq out. He didn't go for it.
Kobe looks like he's about 19 years old out there.
Well, he is. Kobe with an easy rebound as the Blazers miss again. Kobe short on that shot, right into the hands of Wallace.
There's another guy that wasn't listening to the scouting report.
Shaq making it upward. Bonzi Wells throws it down for the Blazers.
Has Shaq even touched the ball in that offense?
I don't believe he has.
Didn't we used to have this conversation 10 years ago when we used to do these games?
This is similar to our production meetings with you, Bill.
Some good reacting defense from the Trailblazers the last time down. Make a save on Samaki Walker, and they're able to get the ball back right here, knocked away. Ball in the hands of Dale Davis, and the Lakers knock it away.
As a shot blocker, when you're already beat, let him go and try to get it from behind, as the Blazers succeeded on that possession.
Kobe slapped it away from Pippen, who dives on the floor to get it back, and a jump ball call. And already some pushing and shoving, which characterized that double overtime game last week. These two teams love to hate each other.
And what Phil Jackson said from the encounter last weekend is that now the Blazers do indeed have the Lakers' full attention.
Well, the interesting thing is, you know, when you're the team that's been beaten as many times as Portland is beaten by the Los Angeles Lakers, you're going to celebrate every time you get a win. Now, they just have to make it a significant win in another series. The last time they did it was in Las Vegas at the Thomas and Mack Arena with Clyde Drexler's group.
1992, the year after Magic Johnson finally retired.
Here's the ball intended for Shaq, picked off by Davis. I think Dale was listening to the Davis on the other end.
Blazers look very sharp early, and the Lakers don't seem to be listening to the game plan. They've got to get the ball to Shaq this possession.
Well, remember what Bill Jackson told us about what hurts them. Portland's speed at the defensive end, the ability to get into the defensive passing lane, to force their turnovers, and then to get down the floor. And turnovers have led to fast breaks, and that's a problem. Good move by Dale Davis. He steps right across, and in return, they say, Dale, get some candy.
Maurice Cheek said we've got to get up and pressure full court to take time off the clock and don't let him just dump it into Shaq so effortlessly.
Fisher for three.
Cheek said those are the guys they got to control. The Fishers, the Ories, the Foxes, the Devin Georges, because ultimately the two big guys who will get a volume of shots, they're going to score. They're going to get a number anyway, so you've got to be able to shut the other guys down.
Shaq had great position. Kobe couldn't get it to him because of Scotty's defensive pressure.
First shot, Shaquille O'Neal.
If you're the Blazers or anybody else guard Shaq, I think you live with that. If he gets 40 shooting that shot, your chances of winning will skyrocket.
Bonzi Wells, quick shot, front rim. And the Lakers look for their first lead. And again, they're looking for Shaq, being defended by Dale Davis.
Dale Davis is trying to wear him.
And a 3-second violation by the Lakers will turn it over.
But what a creative and imaginative pass. That call brings Phil Jackson up off the bench in disbelief.
Well, the reason he's up is because Dale Davis is all over Shaq, pushing, shoving. And so in order for Shaq to get the spot, he's got to fight Dale Davis and move out of the lane at the same time.
Machine in the post. Got to go to work here. Can Samaki Walker slow him down?
First foul on Samaki Walker.
It's amazing with Rasheed Wallace when you look at the numbers of he and the rest of his teammates during the regular season. I mean, Rasheed Wallace leads the team in three-point shot attempts, and he's their best low-post player. Scottie Pippen, Bonzi Wells, Damon Stoudemire, they go to the free throw line more times than Rasheed Wallace. Inexplicable, and I don't think that's going to get the Blazers very far in the playoffs.
Well, it's not Rasheed Wallace's fault. He would love to go to the free throw line every time. He feels that the referees don't put him on the line. That's part of his big complaint with the officials. I get fouled, and I don't get the call. I touch somebody at the other end. They get the call. He gets both the free throws.
He's a good free throw shooter, 73% in the regular season, and he puts the Blazers back up by 2. Steal by Bonzi Wells. Made a nice move to let Kobe fly by and then reversed it through. Good defense to offense by Bonzi Wells.
The way the Blazers are overplaying the passing lanes, Shaq should pop up to the free throw line and run a backdoor through him.
Both coaches saying turnovers would be important in the outcome, and already the Blazers a half dozen points off Laker turnovers. Foul on Scottie Pippen.
Bill Jackson said we have got to prevent them from making these kinds of plays. Bonzi Wells made a similar play in the overtime last week, starts this ball game off with one, and he's very good in the passing lane. Fox has got to come to the ball, or he's going to see Bonzi Wells laying it up.
Davis running in that time, and the lob results in Shaq's 4th point on the pass from Fox.
On the lob, somebody's got to come from the weak side. That is not Dale Davis's responsibility. He did his job in front, if that's the strategy. Then somebody's got to come flying and poke it away.
Ball was touched. That's why Pippen had another dribble. Stoudemire lowers his shoulder. Offensive foul.
The The Blazers were up against a shot clock that time. They wasted so much time dribbling. The Laker defense was dug in. The Laker defense, they are #1 in the NBA in opponents' field goal percentage. Their ability to just stay and guard someone because they know they have the human eraser Shaq behind them gives them a great advantage.
Just under 6.5 minutes left, opening quarter. And Portland leads the Lakers by 2. Diagonal pass to Walker. He was left open. Wallace slacking off him. Got his own rebound, missed again, and finally Rasheed collars his 5th board. Pippen feeds back to Wallace. That's a 3.
By design, Wallace the trailer that time, and he's been given the green light by Maurice Cheeks, and that's money for him wide open. Last week, he could not make one of those until late in the ball game.
We are seeing a focused, determined Blazer team today, and Dale Davis has already played better than he did the entire game a week ago.
And Rasheed Wallace knocks down the 3. The Blazers up by 5.
Coach, you were 5-79 last year. Why the playoff talk?
Well, we made a couple of key trades, and we got the funk.
Oh, well, glory be, the funk's on me, Bobble. Keep that funk alive. Keep that funk alive. Well, it's 1975, and we'll just be keeping the funk alive. So what the?
Not good with the ladies like you, Cedric.
All right. Try this on her. Hi, I'm Paul. You have beautiful eyes.
Hi, I'm Paul, and you have beautiful eyes.
I'd love to take you out sometime.
Love to take you out sometime.
So how much?
So how much?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Saved my life twice, and I've never even seen his face. You are amazing.
Spider-Man, rated PG-13. In theaters everywhere, May 3rd.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by NikeBasketball.com, by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by McDonald's. We love to see you smile. Not far from the Hollywood Hills, here at the Staples Center is the Lakers, and Shaquille O'Neal open defense of their championship. Shaq has hit his first 2 shots of the game, and Bill, they didn't execute the game plan right away, but why not go right to Shaq?
Phil Jackson told us that their plan was to give it to Shaq virtually every single time, because in game 1s where champions and MVPs established themselves, the 2 years that Phil Jackson has coached Shaq in these game 1s, he's been nothing less than spectacular. 38 points, 17 boards, 3 blocks, customary terrific field goal percentage. The Blazers, they've got a runaway load on their hands if the Lakers can get Shaq the ball.
And Steve, we've seen the Blazers' plan of extending their defense and trying to force some turnovers pay some dividends for them early.
Yeah, and that is the way that they won against them. And you can see what they've done here early in the ballgame with the hustle stats, and they've got to continue to play that way.
Pippen hauls down the Kobe miss. And the Blazers trying to add to their 5-point lead.
We've seen early from the Blazers, which has been positive, has been defense without fouling.
4 to shoot. Bonzi Wells stripped by Fox.
If you're getting stripped down low, that means you're not leading with your elbow.
I'd like to lean with my elbow on you occasionally when you have some of these.
Offensive foul. Shaquille O'Neal trying to spin around, come back, get position on the other side. Dale Davis in front of him all of the way. And Dale Davis has been aggressive and started early. You see the hook. Didn't we see that same kind of hook yesterday?
Wasn't that
Chris Webber?
Chris Webber and Jaron Collins all tangled up. Again, a good call by the official, grabbing the first grab.
First foul on Shaq. Beautiful spin by Bonzi Wells. Spins baseline to lay it in. And the Blazers have their biggest lead. Wells a half dozen points.
Not only are the Blazers playing terrific non-fouling defense, they're attacking on the offensive end, going right at the Lakers, not settling for perimeter jumpers.
Well, let's see how the Lakers respond to this early pressure and challenge that Portland is throwing out. Nice pass.
Well, Fox couldn't finish it after the no-look pass from Samaki Walker.
See what I tell you about passes, Bill? You got to finish the shot.
It was a great pass.
Portland on a 9-2 run. Stoudemire can't hit. Davis kept it alive, and it's out of bounds off the Lakers as Samaki Walker knocked to the deck.
You can just look into the eyes of Dale Davis and see the focus and the concentration and the incredible determination to get that ball. And last week it was just a non-appearance for Dale. Today a completely different story.
Portland trying to get some togetherness and some bonding time. Had a team dinner last night. Mandatory. First time they've had a mandatory team dinner. They did get together over the holidays, but trying to foster a new spirit on this team.
Well, defensive attitude of Kobe Bryant. I'm up to whatever Scottie Pippen is going to throw in his direction, and Kobe slaps it back.
Pippen gets an open look that time and puts it through.
Beautiful basketball. The execution. When you set a screen, as Scottie Pippen did, that's the guy who's going to be open. Not the guy receiving the screen, but the guy setting it. Scottie did that, just popped right back.
First basket for Pippen, but he does have 4 assists. Fox left open, misses the 3. And Wallace able to get it to his teammate Pippen.
Blazers are controlling the weak side defensive board, something you have to do if you're ever going to beat Los Angeles.
Well, early in the game, Portland is controlling all phases of the game. The offensive rebounding, the defensive attitude, and the Lakers haven't found that rhythm.
Kobe pull up. Kobe Bryant with 4 points.
Play made possible by Shaq racing down the court, establishing the deep position. All the defense had to worry about him. He was camped in that lane. Kobe had the freedom on the court to create for himself.
Timeout Portland with 3:01 left in the first. And despite this Kobe Bryant pull-up shot, Portland ruling the Lakers at the moment. The NBA on NBC.
Ultra premium malt beverage.
Introducing McDonald's new Chicken Select Strips. So, what do you want? I really wanna zig a zig.
Introducing a whole new Energizer Max. With so much extra power inside, it's the longest lasting Energizer Max ever. Do you have the bunny inside?
Hold on. I lost my wallet. My credit card was in it.
You do have a Capital One no hassle card, don't you?
Well, don't worry. There's not another human for miles.
Worried about losing your credit card? With Capital One's no hassle card, you're not liable for a penny. Plus, get the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates and no telemarketing.
NBC Tuesday. There's a place called the Moulin Rouge. It's in France. But here on NBC, we've got an all-new Watching Ellie.
Oh, crap!
Watch your language.
Monica's from Vancouver.
They don't crap in Vancouver?
All new Watching Ellie after an early Frasier, NBC Tuesday.
Portland with a 7-point lead early on the Lakers. And let's check in with Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Tom, thank you. Well, Robert Horry is available today. He missed the last 2 games with the Lakers because of a hematoma abdominal problem right under his stomach muscle. He has been cleared by the Lakers to play today and their training staff. Now, I spoke to Ruben Patterson. He is the so-called, or he calls himself, the Kobe stopper. Kobe kind of laughs at that. He told me before the game, we wanted the Lakers because we can beat them. Well, I asked Shaq about that, and he said, well, that's a good thing. I like that. They might be the only ones who want this. In fact, they better be careful what they ask for. Tom?
All right, Jim. Was all this scripted? Because here's Patterson into the game, the booze, and Robert Horry coming in as well. How did you do that, Jim?
I don't know. I've got magic powers. You know, I wanted to talk about them, so I said, Coach, can you get them in the game?
Well, they're in. 3:01 left, first quarter.
They've taken Shaq out of the game. Shaq did not have a single rebound. The Blazers have 6 offensive rebounds on their 13 misses. So just jack them up and get to the boards.
Wells fouled as he attempts the slam.
A very energized Bonzi Wells. He has been at the rim a couple of times and very quickly before the defense of Rick Fox of the Lakers can react. And both times you can tell he has too much energy because everything is coming off the back iron. I mean, he's going with a lot of pop.
That's 2 slams. He missed one on an attempted putback. And that one went off the back rim, too, and then so does the free throw.
But remember, Bonzi missed the playoffs a year ago. Tore up his knee in the closing weeks of the regular season. Couldn't play at all. Had the operation. Came right back. This is his first real chance to establish himself, and I think he's playing terrific.
In '99, too, he wasn't on the playoff roster because he was injured. And so you're right. This is a rare chance, but he misses 2 free throws. Bonzi normally hits 74% at the line.
Well, they put pressure in the backcourt, and that does 2 things. It makes them take time off the clock. It makes them set up further in the triangle. Pressure on Robert Horry.
Horry penetrates and gets it to Fox, but the defense reacts. 4 to shoot. Bryant for 3.
When you have guys that can bail you out up against the shot clock, that's how you win championships.
Well stopped by Robert Horry.
This is the guy that's averaged 28 against Portland in the 4 games this year, and he comes back with back-to-back hoops to make it a 1-point game, Tom.
He has 10 here in the first quarter. Just under 2 minutes. Rasheed Wallace. Tough shot over Robert Horry. That breaks an 8-0 Laker run, and Wallace has 7.
Horry told us before the game in our pregame meeting his desire is to force Wallace to that baseline, not let him turn back to the middle on either side of the court where he is so deadly.
The Kobe stopper, Patterson, lost him behind the screen. He hasn't stopped much yet.
How much did you say Kobe is averaging against the Blazers?
28.
He saw the Kobe stopper come in, and he scored the last 8 in a row.
That had to be a traveling violation on Scotty.
Wallace for 3. Rasheed Wallace with a 3-pointer. He's up to 10 in this first quarter, and the Blazers have a 4-point advantage.
Yeah, the guys from Philly are having their own personal duel. Both these guys play against each other a lot in the summertime when they're back in Philadelphia, but Wallace is on today where he struggled last week, and Bryant continues to stay on the mark.
Clear aside for Kobe. Let him go.
Here's a 3. Off the shot clock and out of bounds to Portland.
It was too late in the shot clock there. There was such poor spacing for Los Angeles. With Kobe feeling so great, just let him go. Clear out. Go to the weak side and set a screen for somebody else to give him some time to operate, not have to jack up that shot.
Steve Kerr into the game for the first time. The veteran in his 14th season from Arizona. Being checked here by Derek Fisher.
Trying to go back to Wallace.
There's the entry pass in the low post. Turns, fires, can't hit. Way up for the rebound is Rick Fox. 4 boards for Rick.
Last shot time for the Lakers. Neither team with a foul to give.
Well, they open up the floor, and normally that means somewhere the ball is going to end up in Kobe Bryant's hands, and they end up with a foul. Portland has a foul to give. Steve Kerr gives it, so the Lakers will come back with 6 seconds left in the quarter.
Shaq continues to reside on the Laker bench. 2 for 2 in the game, but without a rebound. And the Lakers being whipped on the boards by the Blazers. Fisher falls down. Doubled, lost it. Time runs out before they could get a shot up. Pippen's half-court shot came close, but it would not have counted. So Scottie Pippen and the Blazers come out in aggressive fashion, carrying the game to the Los Angeles Lakers in the first quarter, though the Lakers went on a 10-5 run to end that first period. At the end of the first quarter in Game 1, the Blazers lead the Lakers 23-19.
Powerful, ultra easy, ultra powerful, ultra easy. This is the concept behind new Lotrimin Ultra, the new way to cure athlete's foot. Why is it ultra powerful? Because it's got a new prescription strength ingredient that nobody else has. Why is it ultra easy? Because you just have to use it once a day, and it keeps your athlete's foot free for 3 months. Ultra powerful, ultra easy. New once a day Lotrimin Ultra.
Do you love me?
I love you.
At the right moment.
Come and see me.
With the wrong person.
You know, we could end this now and no one would get hurt.
I think I get hurt.
Anyone can go too far.
I think this is a mistake.
From the director of Fatal Attraction.
He's been reported missing.
What has gotten into you?
Richard Gere.
I don't feel good about this guy.
Diane Lane.
What did you do? Did you hurt him?
Unfaithful. Rated R. May 10th, only in theaters.
Your eyes are heavy. You're relaxed in your quiet place.
See what I mean?
Excuse me, sir. Do you use a cell phone?
Yes!
Yelling over the static. Here, Sprint PCS built the largest all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network from the ground up. Clear calls, so you'll be clearly heard.
Thanks. This is very helpful.
I thought it might be.
4,000 minutes for $39.99 from Sprint PCS.
Coming to NBC in May, the Visa Triple Crown, only on NBC.
Start the second quarter with the Blazers leading the Lakers. Ruben Patterson of Portland. This is his quote regarding playing the Lakers. They're not that good. Ruben Patterson, the self-styled Kobe stopper.
Kobe stop, Kobe stop, Kobe stop, Kobe stop, Kobe stop, Kobe stop, Kobe stop.
Sean Kemp, while Ruben iced his ankles, and so far there hadn't been much stopping. Kobe against the Kobe stopper. Ouch. That one did not go in, but Kobe has scored 12 in the first quarter, and he is 4 for 5. That was his only miss since the Kobe stopper came in the game.
All the rest of them did go down. Generally, as a defensive player, you don't want to make comments like that. That just fires them up. That just fires guys like Kobe and Michael Jordan, Kareem, Bird, all those guys. Putting your feet in that ice bucket before the game, that's not a lot of fun. But the sore Achilles tendons for Ruben Patterson force him to do that before each and every game down the stretch.
Shaq back in the game, and he's being guarded by Wallace, and everybody felt Wallace did a pretty good job, but that's what will happen to Wallace, and they can't afford to lose him defending against Shaq with fouls.
The Blazers' defensive strategy would be to get Shaq to turn back to that baseline. With Rasheed not being far enough to his own left, allows Shaq to continue in his direction with his momentum to get that jump hook and a much improved Shaq free throw shooter.
Shot puts the first one in. At NBCSports.com, a special interactive reveals a 5-point game plan on how to beat the Lakers. Plus, Steve Jones and former NBA coach Matt Gukas pick the first-round winners. Bill answers your email on the hottest playoff topics, all at NBCSports.com. Shaq hits two. The first two free throws of the game for the Lakers, who also get Devin George and Brian Shaw in the game. Joining Robert Horry, Kobe and Shaq. Ruben Patterson lost it. Devin George front court for the Lakers.
Find Shaq in transition.
Kobe will shoot two.
Ruben Patterson on the flyby. You know, as soon as he saw Kobe with the ball, he was headed in that direction. Devin George made the steal and dropped it off to Kobe. And you'll see Ruben Patterson flying in. You know, if your name's Kobe, I'm going to be somewhere in the neighborhood.
Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. I spoke to Kobe about this Ruben Patterson and all this Kobe stopper stuff. He says, you know, it's basically laughable. He doesn't think anything of it. He says, I don't spend any time thinking about Ruben Patterson. It's kind of nice to know that he spends so much time thinking about me. He says, there's some times when he's had some very good occasions where he's defended me well. He will defend me well from time to time. But there's nobody in this league, including Ruben Patterson, who can stop me. It's laughable. Tom?
Well, nobody's laughing yet because he has 13, shooting for 14 here in the first half.
Big story for Portland. They were able to get that lead in the first quarter basically with hustle. They only shot 37%. The leading scores for them, Wells and Wallace, both not off to sensational starts, but competitive starts. And now they're going to the second unit. Derek Anderson, Patterson, Stoudemire, and Kerr. Those guys are all going to have to generate points.
As Jim was talking about the offensive-defensive mindsets of Bryant and Patterson, offensive players never think about the defenders. And defensive players spend their entire time thinking about who they're guarding. That's how you become a top defensive player.
Second tie of the game. The Lakers have never led. Kerr gets a screen from Dale Davis and away from the ball. A 3-second violation, defensive violation. 3-second defensive violation means a technical free throw.
Robert Horry is a guilty party and having words with the official.
So relieved they made that call.
Wait, you had to wait a whole quarter to get it?
Well, now the game is complete.
Steve Kerr, the 97% free throw shooter, puts it through, and the Blazers back on top by 1.
This is when you miss Marv the most, when he can say, Bill, I am now happy that they have made that call.
How's Marv doing?
We wish him well.
Good luck, Marv. We're pulling for you. Good health to you.
Please get well, Marv. Please. Stoudemire. Back tap to Kerr. He can't hit, and Shaq muscles it down.
And Tom, I thought you missed this.
Shaq's first rebound of the ball game. Minute and a half into the second quarter.
Bryant. Kobe can't hit that one. Rebounded by Dale Davis, his 4th. Derek Anderson matched up against George. Davis. Shaq checking him. Shot good. That was
Derek Anderson.
A tough shot by Derek Anderson from the corner with defense flying at him.
Remember a year ago when Derek was playing for San Antonio and he had the dislocated shoulder? That's still bothering him. He was rubbing it and working on it before the game today in the locker room.
Shaq. Shaw's shot. Let's see if it counts. Lakers want a goaltend. There is a foul also.
Well, Shaq thought that he got fouled on his spin. The ball popped out of his hands. He was trying to dunk it, and it came right to Brian Shaw. And he's saying, how about the hoop?
The referees, the players are all arguing with Dick Bavetta. If Shaq had touched that ball first, It should have been a goaltending violation, but that goaltending call is not Dick Pavetta's call. He makes the foul call down low. It's the other official's responsibility to come and make the goaltending call, and that's what Phil Jackson is calling out Callahan and McCutcheon about.
You know how important this is? Phil took a timeout. He's wasting a timeout with the officials. He won't take a timeout when his team runs and gets down 20-0.
All the way out on the court to argue his case on a non-goaltending call. His team down 3.
The NBA playoffs continue on NBC with a triple header next Saturday, noon Eastern.
Borrow your weed whacker?
It's in the garage.
Do you have a chainsaw?
Lawnmower?
Snowblower?
It's in the garage.
Even with the industry's first power liftgate, Chrysler Town & Country EX at around 27 grand costs less than Odyssey EX.
Where did the pepperoni?
No wonder people can't wait to see one. Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
Here's a lesson for the would-be Casanova. Every so often, it's advantageous to remind the little lady she hasn't dropped off the radar. Well, well, well. 2-1, you'll be living the high life tonight.
He started hanging out with his new friends, and that mouth. This and that. Use that language at home. We're just not connecting.
Your friends talk you into a cell phone?
No.
Yeah, it's the static, ma'am. Here, Sprint PCS built the largest all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network from the ground up, so your calls are clear.
Thank you. Jason.
Thanks.
We all need guidance sometimes.
4,000 minutes for $39.99 from Sprint PCS.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. By Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. By Lamisil AT, the official athlete's foot treatment of the NBA. And by NBA Playoffs 2002. Love it live. From downtown Los Angeles, the Lakers trailing by 3, 9:57 till halftime. And at halftime, we hope to hear from Marv Albert with Ahmad Rashad. And meantime, Jim Gray has another legendary broadcaster. Jim?
Well, I'm now joined by Chick Hearn. Chick had a heart attack earlier in the season, just had his hip replaced. He came back April 9th. You know what it's like to miss games. You and Marv have done the most games of anybody in the NBA. I'm sure you're feeling for Marv today. It's difficult to sit home and watch, isn't it?
The thing that I'm glad about is they don't have to put him on the injured list and miss 5 games. Marv, get back. We need you. You have done such a magnificent job through the years for the NBA and for NBC. And yeah, I'm just so happy about the fact that you didn't get hurt more seriously. And it is going to be great to see you back. I know from experience it's fun to come back.
Chick, we appreciate you letting us join you on the simulcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, Marv and Czar feel better. Tom?
Yeah, you're right, Jim. Czar to Mike Fratello. Our best wishes to him and to all involved in that terrible accident. Brian Shaw, first free throw good.
Brian Shaw has come to the rescue so many times. Phil Jackson will go major stretches of the season without even thinking of him. And then all of a sudden, when things look the most bleak and outrageously out of hope for the Lakers, he'll throw Brian in and things almost instantaneously turn in Los Angeles' favor.
Eric Anderson using the Dale Davis screen twice. Hammered pretty good by Robert Horry.
It's one of the few times today that the Blazers have over-dribbled.
Call the foul against Devin George. Robert Horry puts up his hand, and it looked like the collision was between Anderson and Horry, but Anderson's going to get to the free throw line.
Anderson's first free throw is good. And coming up a week from Tuesday, don't miss NBC's Tuesday anniversary lineup with Bob Hope outtakes, the Cheers cast on Frasier, St. Elsewhere on Scrubs, and Jay's primetime anniversary special. That's a week from Tuesday.
Blazers are missing a lot of gimme free throws from outstanding shooters. Bonzi Wells missed 2. Derek Anderson just gave up 1 there. You got to play perfect if you're going to win against the Lakers.
Robert Horry missing it 2. It was Horry, by the way, that got that last foul and not George. There was some confusion. Stoudemire penetrates. Pippen hits Davis. Can't get away from Shaq. Patterson, no good.
That's not the strength of Ruben Patterson's game. Every now and then he'll make a jump shot, but he likes to bring the ball to the hoop as the Lakers look inside the shot.
Back to Bryant, inside out. Three-pointer, no good. Stoudemire pushing. And Pippen stepped out of bounds.
Portland's doing a lot of the things that they want to do to be successful, but here in the quarter, they're not seeing the result. And a turnover, an unforced one as Pippen steps out of bounds. And this is one of the most common mistakes made in the NBA by players that like to go down in that alley. They forget their feet are too big.
Shaq, the last possession, gave up the ball really early. In that situation, he's wanting it back on the repost. They just threw up a quick shot that time.
Lakers don't have a field goal in the quarter, though they have hit 6 free throws. Shaq. Now they do. Shaq has 8 points.
Now that's what you're talking about. Get that ball, lower that left shoulder, establish how this game is going to be played in terms of the conference. How long is Rasheed Wallace going to be out?
He's at the scorer's table right now. Tie game. Anderson to Stoudemire. Anderson with 2 to shoot. Knocks it down. Tough shot. Derek Anderson as Wallace waits to re-enter the fray.
You know, Anderson may be the saving grace for the Trailblazers this afternoon off the bench. And he's got to make some shots. He has the ability to go on his own.
George. First basket for Devin George. Left-hand tough shot as he scoops it in. Ruben Patterson with an offensive move.
That's Patterson at his best right there, bringing the ball to the hoop, challenging the defense. And when he's successful, he's getting that shot. He's getting to the free throw line. He's being very disruptive. Dale
Davis trying to defend Shaq, picks up number 2.
With Ruben Patterson down in that low box. Robert Horry, normally a perfect defender down there. And Horry did everything you possibly can do. But then when Shaq makes that quick flash, explosive move from that weak side, all Dale Davis can do is grab him. And the referees have been quick to call that every single time as Kobe getting a quick breath.
Kobe on the bench as Dale Davis goes to the Portland sideline. Rasheed Wallace in. Devin George for 3. And the Lakers have their first lead.
That play right there shows you how much Lindsey Hunter has lost his confidence. Normally he'd pull that trigger immediately on that wide open look.
You just got in the game. You're always saying that you don't shoot as soon as you come in the game.
Lindsey Hunter did come in at the last break as Ruben Patterson throws one down. That's 4 points for Ruben.
Blazers are attacking the rim every single time. No messing around with that three-point stuff today.
Shaq can't reverse, got his own, had it stripped away. Lakers get it back.
Well, Shaq came with a good finesse move, but he missed time where the basket was and ended up getting it back, and they're lucky to get it back after Stoudemire had control.
Mo Cheeks is going to send Bonzi Wells back into the game. And Ruben Patterson will go out.
This small lineup was so effective a week ago. Nice defense by Scottie Pippen on the baseline out of bounds play, keeping Shaq from getting that lob.
Right. Remember what Phil Jackson told us? He thought his team went to sleep, and then in the second overtime, they eventually quit.
Brian Shaw for 3. Pippen spins. No basket. Foul occurred on the floor. It's on Shaw.
We're really seeing a different Scottie Pippen. We saw signs of it a week ago before he lost his mind and threw the ball into the stands. But today, he has just been outstanding.
Pippen in his 201st playoff game.
Second all-time to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He only needs 36 more.
Well, to do that, the Blazers will have to get by the defending champs. If he's going to add to his list of playoff appearances. There's a foul as Rasheed Wallace knocked down.
Fans irate and Robert Horry upset as Wallace was making a cut. There was a collision. He's asking Mike Callahan what the story is, and he's saying, hey, a foul is still a foul, Robert.
But the sense of relief here at Staples that Robert Horry appears to be okay.
Eric Anderson, everything but the finish. Hunter left alone, still doesn't pull the trigger.
That was
catch by Shaq.
That was a deep three that he was thinking about taking there.
Horry into Shaq, too easy. Rasheed Wallace fell down. Pippen wanted no part of the big fella.
Well, discretion is the better.
Right, it is. And he caught it right under the rim.
Shaquille is going to get a bunch of points. And you have to assume that he might even get 40. You got to get it back at the other end. Blazers will rise not to foul. They're going to take a timeout as they sense a change significantly in momentum towards Los Angeles' favor.
Shaq's hit 4 of 6, and the Lakers have their biggest lead.
Think of e-business as a game. You got players, you got management, you got opponents who don't always play by the rules. This game takes strategy and the ability to move that metaphorical ball that is information with more money on the line than in any other game that's ever been played. E-business isn't just a game, it's the game. So if you're going to play, play to win.
See, it's cool. Come on, let's go.
With its patented four-wheel drive system, Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo is extremely capable.
Thanks, babe.
But still as well-mannered as ever.
What a gentleman.
Now get our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge on the most award-winning brand of 4x4s. Jeep, there's only one.
I hope he doesn't forget again.
Michelob Light. Anniversary.
Hi. You got the pizza, right?
The great taste of Michelob Light makes any occasion seem special.
The NBA and WNBA continue to write new chapters to the Read to Achieve story.
Okay, let's read.
With each turn of the page, players and coaches are encouraging families to open a book with their children.
Do you like this book? All right.
And by donating computers and books to create reading and learning centers, the NBA is helping kids develop a lifelong love of reading.
Read to Achieve!
Be a part of the success and read to achieve.
NBC tonight, it's another double order of Law & Order. First, an all-new criminal intent. Who killed the mobster's daughter? The only way to solve this crime is to stay one step ahead. Then, a special Law & Order.
Police!
Back-to-back Law & Orders, NBC tonight, 9/8 Central.
Portland coach Mo Cheeks sitting on the bench there in his first playoff game as a coach. In fact, a big disparity in experience in the coaching aspect, although Maurice had more games played in the playoffs versus Phil Jackson. But approaching this, his first playoff game as a coach, Maurice thought back to his playing days.
I'm trying to take myself back to when I played. I was a rookie one time, and I remember Billy Cunningham saying that he had to go get another player, another guard, to see if I could handle the pressure. Well, I handled the pressure, and I don't see this being any different. I'm going to go out, be the same person I've been throughout this year, do the things I'm capable of doing, which is coach my basketball team and stay as calmly as I possibly can, and hopefully we can get a win.
A six-time All-Star Maurice Cheeks, a world champion on that legendary Philadelphia team from 1983. He is what the NBA is all about. Guys making lives for themselves. What a great story, Maurice Cheeks.
No basket, Rasheed Wallace. Foul called out on the floor. Jim?
Tom, you know, Mo Cheeks wants to do some things differently this year. Not that he's critical of anything that's gone on in the past. He just wants to look at this year all by itself. Nothing matters what happened yesterday. He had that team dinner, as you alluded to, for team unity, and he will take the team home from Los Angeles after the game today, as Bonzi Wells follows it up. He will take the team home after the game. They will not linger in Los Angeles, Tom, for 3 days. He doesn't want them to lose their focus. Back to you.
Jim sharpening his play-by-play skills.
You are registering the same complaint that Marv did. Scratchy, calm down.
Blazers were very lucky. They're coming right back at Bonzi, which is a good idea, and a much better post-entry pass that time by Scotty with a nice cut to the hoop to take the defense with him.
Wallace for three from Bonzi Wells. Inside out results in the three. Rasheed with 13 points, and the Blazers back on top.
And when you make Shaq guard somebody who can really score like Rasheed Wallace, things are totally different.
But again, as Six told us, he can't have Wallace on O'Neal the entire game because of the foul concern. Wallace has to stay out there. He's got to be that threat, and you're going to get some fouls just when you're standing around Shaq.
Shaq with a dozen points after that last bucket.
But Wallace only has one foul, and he's defending without fouling, so that's very good.
Pippen's pass deflected by Ori, stolen by Kobe. And Shaq runs the court.
Shaquille O'Neal establishing order in the lane here. Rasheed Wallace continues to allow him to roll that way, force him the other way. No matter what he gets the other way is better than going to his strong end. And then Rick Fox, a marvelous job of finding Shaq. And Shaq keeps that lead pivot foot down, but the movable foot was absolutely active as can be. A totally illegal play.
Shaquille has scored the last 6 Laker points, and for the game is 6 of 8.
We've got different free throw techniques here by Shaq. He's got the ball more up on his fingertips, shooting the ball with more arch.
Same result.
But he's got a nice fluid delivery now. He's not locking his knees anymore. He's got his whole body into it.
Just under 4 minutes.
His free throw numbers the last couple of weeks have been terrific.
He has gotten better down the stretch. Stoudemire. Shaq had it taken away, and then he rejects it for good measure as Ruben Patterson puts it up.
That's a rebound by Ruben Patterson. He just went up there and took that ball away from Shaq.
But this is a tremendous effort by Patterson to snatch it, but he always does this. He'll come right back and challenge, and on the challenge he wanted to call, they don't give it to him. Ruben Patterson against Ori.
Here he is again. Patterson this time kicks it outside to Stoudemire. Weaving his way through traffic, he stepped out of bounds. Oh, there was a foul call. Let's see. Oh, Dick Bavetta, the other side of the court, had a foul.
One referee on the baseline had stepping out of bounds. Bavetta stepped in as the crew chief and overruled it.
Well, Robert Horry ran all the way down in front of the Laker bench. That's his 3rd personal foul. He knew he was coming out, but he also wanted to avoid any kind of words with Dick Bavetta.
One thing we've seen different from Portland today, they're not whining and complaining about the calls.
No reason to yet. Devin George replacing Ori. Stoudemire missing the free throw. Coming to NBC in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday, a matter of fact. First leg of the Visa Triple Crown. Saturday, May 4th from Churchill Downs, the Kentucky Derby. It's a wide open year. Buddha won the Wood Memorial. He's one of the favorites, although he's very inexperienced. Harlan's Holiday has made 10 career starts. Never worse than second, but nobody's too excited about him. He'll be the favorite for the lukewarm.
Bill gave you all that information, John?
I think he was looking at me. He was taking notes on it. I think they have me bet for him in 2 weeks.
I'm just so impressed with it. Whenever you start talking about the horses, that is really fascinating to me.
Well, a lot of horses on display here today, too. Stoudemire picks up his second foul as the horse, Shaquille O'Neal, with 14 points, has been dominant since they decided to follow Phil Jackson's plan and get him the ball.
With 3:26 to go in the ball game, Portland's at a critical stretch. They've got to keep up their energy. They've got to score a point, and they cannot let the Lakers pull away. They have done everything that they wanted to do except see the ball go in on a regular basis here in the first half, so that you go into the break feeling that you have a chance to win if the lead isn't too big.
But the Laker defense has come alive, and right now I think the Blazers need to go back to Rasheed Wallace down low.
Kerr off the bench with a quick shot for Portland, and Kobe has it in front court.
I'd like to see Rasheed get one attempt on the offensive end against Shaq in the low post and see what happens. Just one.
Ruben Patterson calls for a pushing foul. That's his second.
Well, you know, Ruben Patterson will take the challenge, and Kobe will throw it at him, and he gets called for a hand-checking foul. And the secret to defending Kobe out on the floor is moving your feet, so you get hands-on, trying to get a little extra help, and you get caught. And it doesn't look like much of a call, but that's supposed to be illegal.
Kobe this season against the Blazers in the 2 victories. Both of them here in Los Angeles. Huge points. Had the tough game a week ago. Plus his knee was bothering him. Then when Phil Jackson took both Kobe and Shaq out in the fourth quarter with this game seemingly in hand, everything fell apart for LA.
Pippen for 3. One-hand rebound by Rick Fox, and his ball foul on Bonzi Wells.
Lakers are doing a better job on their defensive board right now.
Some of those complaints you were talking about might be coming soon.
Wow. I didn't think 2 people could do that. Huh.
Dude, great picks.
More amazing than the places you'll go in a Jeep Wrangler are the things you'll do with the Jeep Wrangler. Now get our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge on the most award-winning brand of 4x4s. Jeep, there's only one.
Love chocolate? Try the new DQ Chocolate Extreme Blizzard Treat. Mixing cocoa fudge, chocolate chunks, and brownie pieces in soft serve. Got a thing for chocolate? DQ's something different.
In the old days, athlete's foot meant using Lotrimin AF or Tenactin for 4 whole weeks.
Who does that? Today, Lamisil AT kills the fungus with just 1 week's use.
And keeps you athlete's foot free for 3 months.
Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot.
I have something to tell you.
You first.
No, you go.
I'm not ready to get married.
Okay.
So, what was your news?
I won the lottery.
$63 million. Think about it this way, man. After taxes, that's only like $30 million. That's it. Yeah.
Life is best told over a great-tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Shannon? Hey, it's Steve. What's going on?
Ahmad Bashad in New York coming up on Verizon Wireless at the half. We'll hear from our colleague Marv Albert. Marv and Mike Fratello are recovering after being injured in a car accident and had to miss the start of the playoffs. We'll also look ahead to the final game of the weekend as the Detroit Pistons take on the Toronto Raptors, and we'll have Tom's first half thoughts on the Lakers and Trailblazers.
You know, both these teams work much better working from the inside to the outside, and right now the Lakers are doing a better job of going inside and then outside.
Has Kobe been stopped?
No.
Now back to Tom, Bill, and Steve.
All right, Ahmad. 2:56 on the clock before we get to you at halftime. And earlier this play, Damon Stoudemire steps out of bounds, but before that, Dick Pavetta had a foul on Robert Horry. And listen to what happened when Kobe came to complain.
Don't be nodding your head and walk over. Just keep walking away. There is no conversation.
I'm coming over here to talk.
But you don't be walking over and nodding your head. Just come over being receptive.
Coming over to talk.
Then be receptive. There is no conversation, okay?
Body language, Bill. Remember that. Body language says a lot.
But that's what you like about an official. He gave the same response to both players. Kobe, no conversation for you. Ruben Patterson, none for you either. So just walk away.
Looks like a lot of people learned many lessons from last week.
Nick Pivetta has been in control from the outset here, along with Mike Callahan and Monty McCutcheon. Rick Fox came out. Los Angeles went the whole first quarter without shooting a free throw. Now they're 10 of 12 here in the second quarter.
Amazing what happens. Most of them good when you give the ball to Shaq a lot. Sean Kemp into the game for the first time. See what he can do.
Fox misses a pair. See the free throws this quarter. And with under 3 minutes to go, the Blazers trying to recapture the lead as Pippen misses front of the rim, right back to him. Derek Anderson calls, launches, hits a three.
That's a big thing for Portland because they've been struggling to score offensively. They've needed something, brings them back within three.
A wild bounce off Scotty's initial shot. Just nobody could get a read on. That's why you keep your hands up on the rebound.
Bryant's three, can't answer. Rebounded by Wallace.
You know, Kobe normally will shoot his three well early, and then it starts to tail off. He made his first two, hasn't come close since then.
When Portland swings that ball to their big guys, Wallace and Kemp and Dale Davis, they should utilize dribble handoffs to the weak side as opposed to just standing there dazed and confused.
Pippen now 1 for 6 as he misses that shot. And we're under 2 minutes. Kobe. Pippen takes it on the fly. Here's a 2-on-3 break, so Pippen will hold it up. See if he looks for Derek Anderson, who scored 8 in the quarter. Sean Kemp. Offensive rebound by Scottie Pippen.
Love it when they bring the offensive rebounds out.
Pippen 1 of 7.
Now this is almost a replay of the game that Pippen had down here the last time he was here, where he just could not get a shot going and went to the break 1 for 7 and then duplicated it in the second half. Ended up with a 2 for 18 ball game.
Kobe's in a dry spell too as the Lakers take a 20-second timeout.
Scottie Pippen versus the Lakers this season. The first 3 games, 4 points per game, 5 for 31 shooting, 1 for 17. In the April 14th game a week ago, he got ejected at the 20-minute mark of that game for Scott. He was playing brilliant basketball at the time and then just threw the ball into the stands in disgust and dismay. That was it.
Well, the reality is Pippen has never been a great perimeter player. He gets his points in flurries, and he gets them at critical times, and that's been part of his success for Portland this year, to come up with big shots at big moments. And so Pippen will have to regather himself in the last 25 and in the final 24.
But don't you think that if they ran the ball through Rasheed Wallace in the post, he's an outstanding passer in that low post, that Scottie can get some more flash opportunities. Plus, the offensive board would be wide open to him because they'd have to be worried about Rasheed.
Well, they have tried to get this team to be more focused and conscious of ball movement, player movement the entire season. And when they do it, everybody's successful. Going to get a block against Bonzi Wells, and Fisher is down.
There was confusion there. Dick Pivetta was calling it the other way, offensive, and Callahan came right in and said, no, the defensive player was inside the arc.
Let's see. Well, can't tell right there.
Callahan seemed convinced of his call. And he was able to sway.
Well, you get one more look right here, and his feet are on the line. He's not totally out in front, so you can see his feet on the line, and it's unfortunate for Wells and the Trailblazers.
His second foul, and Fisher recovers and hits the first free throw.
And out of it, you get a collision, and his own man steps on his shoulder. That's what happens when you fall down.
Just non-shooting shoulders, dude. It's all right.
Kemp rebounds the missed second free throw with just over a minute left till halftime. See if Wallace sets up on the low post so Bill will get off that top.
But once he gets down there, you know, he's got to make sure he keeps the ball and goes to work. They get a call against Walker.
It's number 3 on Samaki. And don't forget, next Saturday back at 12 noon Eastern with another NBA playoff triple header. The Hornets and the Magic. Game 1. Kings and the Jazz. And the Spurs and the Sonics. Triple header next Saturday starting at 12 noon Eastern time. And of course, after the triple header on NBC, this is the 3rd of 3. TNT will take over the action. The Raptors and the Pistons in game 1 of their first-round series in the East. That starts tonight at 8:30 Eastern time on TNT.
Interesting move here by Phil Jackson, coming with Mark Madsen instead of Robert Horry.
Got 3 fouls.
Yeah.
You remember, he's got 3 fouls. You don't want to waste another one on your guy, Robert Horry. 2 free throws for Wallace. So he's had a good first half of play, 15 points.
2-point game inside the final minute.
2 for 1-time Lakers.
Kobe being defended by Pippen. Somehow Bryant got through the defense, but missed the shot. Kemp hits Pippen on the outlet pass. 30 seconds left. Sean Kemp. Bad looking shot from the start and nobody to rebound.
And that's his shot. I mean, that's become his calling card in the last 2 years. The ability to make that shot, an 8-second violation.
Wow. Referee's right on top of it. A careless mistake by Los Angeles.
Kobe just walking it up is called for not getting it in front court in 8 seconds. And the Blazers get it right back in a 20-second timeout to plan the final shot.
And also to take a quick look at Rasheed Wallace, who is holding his knee, and the shot clock ticking down. The rule changed this year. The lackadaisical approach and attack, thinking he's got the last shot time, and
clearly a violation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, and the funny thing is, teams work like crazy to try to get him to make that. There's no pressure on him, and he takes 8 seconds, and they cough up a turnover.
They were going to hold it for the final shot, so I think he figures no urgency, and it costs them possession. Well, let's see if the Blazers can take advantage of it. They trail by 2 with 17.3 on the clock.
And I think if you're Portland, you have to feel great about your position. You have not shot the ball well here in the quarter, really in the first half of play, but you found a way to scrap and stay in it. So, you know, the second half could be very exciting if they can keep up their intensity and their aggressive attitude.
It's an argument as to what the clock should be set at here.
You can't give them more time if the time ticks down. Was that a meeting of Wildcat?
That's right.
Eric Anderson.
All right, it's 16-8. All right, 16-7, okay? Okay.
Trying to get things right here. It should be a mathematical calculation.
You were good at math, as I recall.
And now they got it. This is where it stopped to begin with, and I don't know how they thought they could reset it. 16.7.
Shaq gives it up to Anderson, slashing to the hoop, missed the shot. Out of bounds as the first half ends. So Portland unable to take advantage of the careless turnover by scoring a bucket before halftime, but still in striking distance. The first half ends with the defending champs on top by 2. At the end of the first half, the Lakers up 46-44. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Kobe, the Blazers haven't shot the ball very well, and they're still very much in this game. Does that concern you?
Not at all. You know, they're getting a lot of the opportunities over second chance opportunities, and that's what the team is pretty much built on.
The loss last week in Portland, did that get you guys' attention for this Portland team?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, we know that they play us tough. You know, looking back in the history, every season series has always been a split. So we knew coming into the series was going to be tough.
You don't seem too pleased.
I'm just focused, man.
All right. Good luck in the second half. Tom?
We wish you would focus a little more, Tom. Russ. Kobe was 16, Shaq was 14 in the first half. Rasheed Wallace led the Blazers with 15 points and 7 rebounds. 46-44, Lakers lead the Blazers after the first half. Stay tuned for Ahmad Rashad and Tom Tolbert on Verizon Wireless at the half. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
We did great. We did great.
No, you're right. We did do great.
We're in really good shape.
Are those the guys who went in after us?
Yeah. I wonder how they did. They've got Michelob Light. I've been playing hoops and my shoulder keeps popping. You get that? No.
Nothing. You say you gonna go up like that?
Yeah, layups. There's your answer.
Oh, no.
The great taste of Michelob Light makes any occasion seem special.
There's a new chick I've got a thing for. Keep going back for more. Since Mickey D's introduced my lips to new chicken select strips, I'm always holding tender, juicy, golden. All white meat select strips. I dip my strips in tangy honey mustard, a spicy buffalo. I know whichever sauce I choose, I can't lose, but I better get my strip on before that chick is gone.
You there yet?
Huh? New chicken select strips on the new taste menu, only at McDonald's.
Hey, this is cool.
How many 4x4s can you really take off-road?
That was great. I suppose we better go give these guys a hand, huh?
With its patented four-wheel drive system, Jeep Liberty makes every day Independence Day.
No laughing this time, guys.
Now get our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge on the most award-winning brand of 4x4s. Jeep, there's only one.
Autopsy report. Case number 00. The body is said to be well-developed, well-nourished adult Caucasian female. The body is opened in the usual manner with a Y-shaped incision. The lungs are 910 grams together. The brain is 1,460 grams. The pericardial surfaces of the 280-gram heart are smooth, glistening, and unremarkable. It is my opinion that the death of Daniel C. Hurd is due to acute drug intoxication. The only drug present in her system was ecstasy.
NBC Monday on an all-new Third Watch.
I'm doing the best that I can.
A single father will make a decision.
You'll always have me.
A powerful story of a tiny life and one man's ultimate sacrifice for love of his child. An emotional, all-new Third Watch, NBC Monday.
This is Verizon Wireless at the half. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
It is halftime in Los Angeles where the Lakers lead the Trailblazers by 2 in Game 1. Ahmad Rashad, Tom Tolbert back in our New York studio with Verizon Wireless at the half. Tom, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, as I alluded to earlier, it seems like the team that's going well is a team that's working from the inside out. What I mean by that, where's that telestrator?
No, we've hid it from you. That's where it is, because you don't know how to use it.
Well, that was a mess, wasn't it? Dribble penetration, getting into the lane, dumping it down to Wallace or Bonzi, the Lakers doing it with Shaq. Whatever team is doing a better job of starting their offense inside and then coming back out for jump shots, they're the one that's doing well. When they start just throwing the ball around the outside, casting up jump shots, then they have problems.
You know what's scary? Ruben Patterson called himself the Kobe stopper. Kobe shows up at the arena with a new haircut. Huh? You think he wasn't serious?
The Ruben haircut?
No.
He went for 16, but I won't give all those to Ruben. But it's funny because when Ruben came in the game, I think he went for 7 immediately. So like I said, internalize that stuff. Be the Kobe stopper inside. Don't let Kobe know about it.
All right, as you've probably heard by now, our colleagues Marv Albert and Mike Fratello missed the start of the playoffs this weekend after being injured in a car accident last Thursday morning. They're both recovering at home, and Marv joins us now by phone. Marv, hello there.
Hey, Ahmad, how you doing?
Doing wonderful. First of all, how are you doing?
Hanging in there. I know Mike is also. I must say, though, that this weekend I have really missed Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones, and Jim Gray. Well, maybe not Jim.
I see that you haven't lost your humor. Sure. Anyway, we're all relieved that you and Mike weren't hurt more seriously. But tell us about the accident. This was early Thursday morning. You're on the way home after doing a game the night before in Indiana.
We were in a limousine, and actually I had gone to sleep, and apparently Mike did also. And I had no idea what happened. I was unconscious when apparently the car slammed into, we're told, a disabled Dunkin' Donuts delivery truck on the Interstate 295. We were coming back from Philadelphia, and fortunately, Mike was able to regain consciousness and actually dragged me out of the car while I was unconscious. He now expects me to pick up the dinner tab every night for the rest of our life. But he really saved me. Unfortunately, the driver, although he was shaken up, he's okay. I know Mike suffered a broken toe and bruises on his face, and he's pretty bruised up. And I fractured an ankle, and also I have all kinds of bruises, and was whacked around pretty good. It was pretty horrible, but when you look back, I think we're all very, very lucky that we're going to come out of it.
Now, a lot of people have been sending along best wishes, including Chick Hearn, during the first half of the Laker game. What was your reaction to that?
Oh, I saw that was terrific, and I appreciate all you guys have said, and to hear it from Chick. I've been such a fan of his over the years. In fact, last week I had the opportunity to sit down and do an interview with Chick and spend some extra time with him. So I really got a kick out of it, and it's kind of different to sit back with the playoffs getting underway, and a couple of great days of playoff action, just to be able to sit back and watch. Although I must admit that at times I would slip into sleep every once. Well, nothing to do with the announcing, but just kind of knocked out. But it's kind of different to watch it from afar.
Hey, how do I really know this is you on the phone?
Well, that's an excellent question. That is, there must be some kind of a test that we could apply.
I can tell, as all of us can tell, with those legendary pipes you have, Marv. Thank you, and get well soon, will you?
Okay, thanks, Tom. I appreciate the kind words, and look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Okay. Two other series got underway today, and right now let's get you caught up, beginning with our early game. Playoff basketball returned to Boston, where the Celtics took on the 76ers. Early on, Allen Iverson on the drive with the ball fake, hits it from the baseline. Iverson with 15 points in the first quarter. He finished with 20.
Yeah, he got off to a great start, but then it may have been fatigue. The legs just weren't there the last three quarters.
Time winding down. Iverson's shot grabbed by Tony Batiste. Walter McCarty ends up with the ball. This is a buzzer beater.
Well, they shoot a lot of threes, but I don't think they usually shoot them from that deep. But hey, it went.
That's right. Second quarter, Antoine Walker on a fast break. McCarty is there for the jam.
Antoine said that was an assist.
Yeah, second half off the Walker miss. Paul Pierce tips it in. Pierce with 31 points today. Iverson and the Sixers fall to the Celtics 92-82.
Great defense to start the third period is what got the Celtics that win.
In our second game, the Dallas Mavericks open their series against Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 2, Minnesota, Chauncey Billups, hot hand early.
They started off early. Minnesota's a jump shooting team. They got cold, and that's when Dallas came back.
All right, third quarter, Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki with the drive and one.
Well, look at that. Just a great shot from the worst hair in basketball.
Well, that was another buzzer beater there by Steve Nash. Dennis Nowitzki from beyond the arc to make it 88-83.
When they get it going, they're incredible. They got a lot of guys that can beat you and hit a lot of tough shots.
And here's a guy that can do all of that. Michael Finley jumper seals the win in game 1 for Dallas. They win it 101-94. Game 2 of the series is Wednesday night. What do you think? What was the key for the win in Dallas?
Dallas played defense. I mean, they got up in Minnesota. Minnesota didn't have very good looks, and Kevin Garnett had some close to the bucket, but they missed a lot of chippies, and by that, 2-footers, 3-footers, 1-foot layups. I mean, Minnesota had 4 or 5 shots there in the fourth quarter that they just couldn't convert. The one thing they did early, I thought, that helped them get a lead was Nesterovic. They got him down low. He got some buckets. And I always talk about working from the inside out. You set up the inside game. That gets you better looks in the outside. In the second half, they didn't do that. It was a lot of passing around the outside. Dallas was able to hit shots. Minnesota wasn't.
Dallas and defense, they're dangerous if they can do that. Coming up, we'll look ahead to the final game of the weekend, the Pistons against the Raptors. You're watching Verizon Wireless at the half.
Can you hear me now? Good.
How do we build America's largest wireless network?
Can you hear me now? Good.
By working harder for you.
Can you hear me now?
Until no matter who you are or where life takes you,
Can you hear me now?
Your call will go through, and you will be heard.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
The first weekend of the NBA playoffs wraps up tonight with Game 1 between the Pistons and the Raptors. That game is on TNT beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Detroit is the second seed in the East, but Toronto was on a roll at the end of the season. How do you see this series coming?
Well, Toronto's got to play like they did at the end of the season. They got to shorten the game up. They got to run the shot clock down, try to keep the score in the low to mid-80s. They don't want to get this thing back and forth. And Detroit just has to be Detroit. Let Ben Wallace control the glass, control the defensive end, share the ball, let Barry shoot the ball, let Robinson shoot the ball, and let Stackhouse be your guy at the end of the game. I really don't see, even though Toronto's been playing well, I don't see Detroit having much of a problem in this series.
I think Detroit is one of those teams that gets no respect, and I think that's what they're playing for, the respect.
I agree. Although I get sick of hearing it's everybody against. It can't be everybody against the world, can it? Not everybody can be against the world. And Lakers are underdog. It's us against the world. Bucker mentality. Just go out there and play. But if they do the things they did during the regular season, they should win this fairly handily.
All right, turning now to NASCAR, the circuit stopped at Talladega this weekend. A 27-car crash marred yesterday's Busch race, and today there was another multi-car pileup in the Winston Cup race. 22 laps to go, 24 cars involved in a major accident. After a restart, final lap, teammates Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip raced for the finish line. Earnhardt Jr. nips Waltrip for the victory, his first Winston Cup victory of the year. In football news, a major trade today. The Super Bowl champion New England Patriots sent Drew Bledsoe to the Buffalo Bills for a first-round pick in next year's draft. Bledsoe was New England's starting quarterback until he was injured last season. Backup Tom Brady took over the rest of the way and led the Patriots to the championship. Meanwhile, the Arena Football League kicked off its 16th season this weekend, and one of the big stories was Jay Gruden. His brother is John Gruden, the new head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Jay is also well known to football fans in Florida. Jay was the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Storm for 6 seasons, leading his team to 4 championship titles. In 1997, he became head coach of the Orlando Predators, capturing the league championship twice in the next 4 years. Remarkably, Gruden has decided to return to the playing field as Orlando's starting quarterback. Last night, he made his debut against the Georgia Force. He put up some impressive numbers, throwing for 331 yards and 4 touchdowns. Unfortunately for Orlando, Georgia quarterback Kevin McDougal was up to the challenge, tossing 4 touchdown passes himself in the win. I am considering a comeback. I just wanted to say that here today. Considering it. Coming up, we'll send you back to Los Angeles for the second half with the Lakers leading the Blazers by 2. Thanks for joining us on Verizon Wireless at the half.
This has been Verizon Wireless at the half. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
NBC Thursday and all new Friends. With the baby almost here, it can only mean one thing. Baby shower!
Yes!
Marlo Thomas is Rachel's mom with the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm gonna come live with you. What?
Then an all-new Will and Grace with Michael Douglas like you've never seen him before.
Oh, yeah.
And chances are like you'll never see him again.
Now look at me like you love me.
Plus an all-new Just Shoot Me.
Oh, my God!
All new NBC Thursday.
Hi folks, welcome back to Newport's Outlet Stores. Mark, I have a door just like this at home with the windows, and I'm not satisfied with the window I have. Can I change it?
Yeah, you can do something about it, Mandy, that's for sure. You can get a gorgeous entry system just out of your plain door at home. And little do you know, now folks at home don't know either, you can take your screwdriver, take these screws out on the back, and these are very standardized, everything even post-1960. We have a glass to fit for you and lots of them. And you can switch it out yourself, and it takes about 10 minutes.
What if I have a door that has no window opening at all in it? Can I have a window put in?
Very common. A lot of you at home have a 6-panel door, and Mandy, you can bring that door in, pull your hinge pins, bring it in. We'll cut it out for you. All Newport's Outlet Stores has custom workshop in the back. We'll cut it out for you and put in the glass of your choice. Come on up to Newport's Outlet Stores, now with 6 locations.
Indiana's rivers are a polluted mess.
Plenty of showers off to the west.
The hair hasn't come back yet.
Very good.
All right. Police reports this morning of an unidentified bunny.
How can you be so perky this early in the morning?
Increasingly cloudy skies.
Well, I'm expecting a really big phone call. Hello.
Can't wait to see your answering machine.
Truth, justice, and daffodils for all.
You're a funny guy.
Why do they call you Rooster? Oh,
I get it.
NBC 33's News Today, 4:55 to 7 a.m. The news you want when you want it. 11 at 10 on MSNBC.
Noon Eastern, a triple header. The Hornets take on the Magic, the Kings meet the Jazz, and the Spurs face the Sonics. Next Sunday at noon Eastern, another triple header. The Celtics take on the Sixers, the Mavericks meet the Timberwolves, plus the Lakers and the Blazers. Crucial Game 3s next weekend.
Back in Los Angeles as we get ready for the second half, I'm Jim Gray, now joined by the Blazers head coach, Maurice Cheeks. Maurice, you guys are down by 2, but you only shot the ball 34% from the field. Are you pleased based on the fact that you didn't shoot the ball well?
We didn't shoot the ball well from outside. I think our success came from posting the ball, posting Bonzi, posting Rasheed, and we need to do a little bit more of that in the second half.
You felt the team was a little undisciplined. In what way?
Well, just that we took some quick shots on the offense, and our success comes from posting the ball. When we do that, we have a very good team.
Mo, thank you. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Tom, back out to you.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot. And hearing Mo Cheeks talk, Rasheed Wallace actually did the job, but they need some production from the other guys.
Yeah, they've got to get Pippen and Stoudemire to make some shots. So if they're going to shoot quickly, you better make them.
Tom, you were talking earlier about the horses. The Lakers got to ride their defense. They got to ride Shaq. They got to get more out of their forwards. 3 of them did not even score, and then do a better job on the defensive boards.
Took you all halftime to think of that riding analogy?
I'm a slow learner, Tom.
Back for the third quarter in just a moment.
Wow.
Hey, man! Check this out. I got a bulb. But this will last you 2 years. Guaranteed. Cool.
Philips, light bulbs that last.
Introducing the totally transformed 2003 Corolla. It just wants to have fun.
Tuesday, the NBC anniversary celebration continues with one big night. First, 50 years of Bob Hope outtakes. Then, Frasier, the Cheers Gang, an emotional reunion.
I forgot how big your head is.
Scrubs has the cast of St. Elsewhere.
Doctors?
And then, Jay Leno's primetime 10-year special with Tom Cruise, Cher, and all the best moments. Yes! Bob Hope, Frasier's Cheers reunion, St. Elsewhere on Scrubs, and Jay Leno's 10th. NBC 1 week from Tuesday.
Twin Spires, mint juleps, my old Kentucky home. It's all fun and games out there. But in here, it's focus, tension, anticipation. His whole life is pointed to this moment, a battle to become one with history. The run for the roses. A Visa Triple Crown begins with the Kentucky Derby in 2 weeks on NBC.
Start the third quarter with the Lakers leading the Portland Trail Blazers 46-44. And Rasheed Wallace with 15 leading the Blazers. Bryant with 16. Tops for Los Angeles. Shaq has 14. And here's an early trap from the Trailblazers to start the third quarter.
Well, that's the best place to trap out of. They got the ball to Shaq, and then they get an offensive foul against Samaki Walker. Walker spent about 3 minutes before the game started talking to the officials about calls, and they remembered his number.
And they get him with number 4, which will bring Robert Horry into the game, and he has 3 fouls.
Now you know why he didn't come in, Bill. That's why Mark Manson was in for that final minute.
Robert Horry can play any possession with fouls. Guy's a genius in basketball and of the human spirit as well.
Portland Trailblazers come back with their original starting 5. This is Rasheed Wallace shooting over Horry and hitting to open the third quarter.
By the way, didn't Maurice Cheeks talk about going to the post with Bonzi and Rasheed?
That's exactly what happened, and it results in a hoop. They were paying attention. Kobe knifing to the basket to lay it in. He has 18.
Well, I honestly think the secret to beating the Lakers is deciding what number you can live with between the two stars, Kobe and Shaq. But you got to shut the other players out. Portland's done a pretty good job in that category.
That was actually Kobe's first field goal since the first quarter. Here's Rasheed again. And again he scores. It's magic.
How are you going to stop that? The guy has got incredibly long arms, a high, beautiful, extended release. He can turn the other way as well, or he wants to turn him to the baseline. He's just been unsuccessful in the last 2 possessions.
Game's top scorer now with 19.
Lakers don't go pick and roll very often, and when they do, they go between Kobe and Shaq.
Kobe got it to Ori, who slams it home. Stoudemire had an open shot, passed it up. Wallace for 3. That was better down on the low block.
If you're going to run pick and roll, do it with Shaq's man.
Fisher short. I don't mean to size the shot. You were looking at me. Pippen. They left him wide open.
He got a fortunate bounce that time. This has not been a friendly place for Pippen.
Well, that was the John Stockton bounce we saw yesterday. Fortunately, they left Scott Padgett up in Salt Lake City. I mean, Sacramento. Is that where we were yesterday?
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant. How do you stop that? Scottie Pippen just watched Kobe.
Defensively, Portland's been very good early in the ball game, packing the lane, making it difficult for Kobe Bryant to find those seams, and he's basically overlaid. But here at the start of the third quarter, he has been having a free reign, and you know, when you give him that kind of a look at it, he's going to be able to manufacture something, and he's got back-to-back hoops.
These are tough shots, though. Scottie Pippen is a great defensive player who's given it all he's got, and Kobe just so effortless, gliding above the fray.
And Kobe with 20 points now. And 2 for 2 in this quarter with an assist to boot.
In the game that they played down here, which Pippen struggled so much offensively, Shaq and Kobe had 68 points between them. And at one point in the fourth quarter, it was a 4-point game. So Portland was doing a good job, and then suddenly Ori, Fisher, Fox all got in the game and busted the game open, and Portland couldn't score. So their secret is right down 60, maybe even 70 points between the two guys, but don't let the others get in the game.
I think you can go as high as 80. But you got to score yourself. You can't score 80 points.
You know, it was down low again. That rimmed out. Kobe, who's had a hand in every bucket the Lakers have scored in the quarter. He made 2 himself, assisted the other. This is Shaq.
Good job, Rasheed Wallace, defensively that time. Stayed with Shaq, gave him a couple feints, confused the Lakers a little bit. Shaq a little bit out of that range on the running hook.
Bad pass picked off by Kobe. He's got Fisher filling the lane. Kobe missed it. Kobe, though, able to get the rebound. And now backing in against Pippen. Up and under, draws the foul.
This is a grudge match. These are 2 guys who don't like each other. Kobe gets that ball. He sees Scottie Pippen, and he's going right at him. He's contemplating backing it out here. He says, forget about it. I'm going right to the hoop. Sees arms extended. He just initiates the contact and earns himself a trip to the line.
3 fouls on Pippen as Kobe rolls in the first free throw. He has 21 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. And as you see, perfect at the line.
In that graphic that we showed earlier, when Kobe scored 30 or better, he took 25 shots or more. In the game that he scored less than that, which was a paltry 25, he only took 20 shots. So, you know, if he's looking to be aggressive, then that's going to create some problems for Portland.
Lakers by 4. Bonzi Wells stripped by Shaq, I think.
It was.
Lakers defense so tough right now.
Shaq is asking for the ball on the other side.
He's got it.
Shaq doing it all defensively, reaches in, clogs up the middle. Rarely will you see Shaq stripped down low like that. He's always playing up high above the rim. When Dale Davis inexplicably goes for the steal. That's just a gamble where your odds are so against you, you have no chance. And now Bonzi Wells to the bench with the 3 fouls.
Completes the three-point trip. It's a 7-0 Laker run.
So the Lakers are in one of those stretches where they're trying to pull away, and Portland's got to answer right now. They got to have a hoop. Let's see if they come back to Wallace.
This is the Lakers' biggest lead. The Blazers led by 9 in the first quarter. Double on Wallace, shoots anyway and came up short.
Blazers aren't getting anything out of Dale Davis. Maurice Cheeks might want to think about going small like Shaq played Rasheed.
Kobe Hamlin as he takes it to the rim.
Now, this is one of the reasons that Kobe Bryant believes that you can't stop him, because he is going to come at you full tilt. And while he's coming full tilt, he's going to make some adjustment in midair to get the foul to go against you. Extends and holds and then walks to the free throw line, and Dale Davis nicked with another one.
That's his third. .23 now for Kobe as he's turned it on here in the third.
Blazers are struggling mightily for points. Lakers defense has upped their level of intensity, concentration. Maurice Cheeks realizing the tenuous nature of his position wants another timeout.
9-0 run by the Lakers. The NBA on NBC.
In the blink of an eye. That defining moment in every game. When that moment comes, will you have ice in your veins?
It's here. It's clear. New Gatorade Ice.
The gold standard turns platinum. The New York Times.
Hands down, the car of the year, the Detroit News.
The interior is near perfect. Business Week.
Hey, who you calling near perfect? The 2002 Camry.
Day 15, just 900 feet from the summit.
Day 15. Where's he going? Oh, hey, guys. Just gonna mail my credit card payment.
You mean you don't have a Capital One no hassle card?
Want a choice of payment dates? Try Capital One's no hassle card. Plus, get the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates and no telemarketing.
What's in your wallet?
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the reinvented Toyota Camry. Get the feeling. By Adidas Climacool, giving you 360 degrees of ventilation. Feel the breeze. And by Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet?
I just told them that, you know, you're not going to light the fuse that makes them explode. Don't even try to do that. Taunting, whatever, physical play, that's not what's going to do it. They're going to implode. That's the way this team comes apart, through their own implosion. And that's something that they have to do because you played right, you execute right. They get frustrated by your execution. So we have to be poised and, you know, carry that standard that I think a champion needs to carry.
And the Lakers have scored 9 in a row on Portland. And the Lakers have kept their poise, and they have executed, but I wouldn't say that Portland had imploded, at least not yet.
Not yet, and you know, what they need to do is find a way to score a hoop. If they can just score and stay close, they still believe that they have a chance. Wallace down low.
He's missed 4 in a row.
But he's had 2 really good shots that have gone in and out.
Everything is out of the set offense for Portland.
Fisher short. Offensive board by Kobe Bryant.
Early part of this game, the Blazers were fast breaking.
Missing on the jam off the no-look pass from Kobe Bryant.
Horry's saying, you know, I don't miss those. I got smacked in the back of the head. This is a very good pass. He lays it off, and Pippen coming by.
He did get hit in the head, actually.
Blazers have not had a fast break hoop in the last 24 minutes. Early on, they were running. They led by 9.
Ruben Patterson tried to dish it inside, and Dale Davis was getting ready to rebound what he thought was going to be a shot.
Get one more look at the missed dunk, and you'll see as Pippen comes by, but he had missed the dunk before he got hit. He should have made that. He can't bail out on that.
Portland now has turned it over 3 times in this quarter. The Lakers have not had a miscue, and they have a 9-point lead and the ball.
Lakers should punish the Blazers with Shaq right now. They've got the good lead.
Kobe missing a 3. Back rim, but little Derek Fisher wades in to get the offensive board.
Well, right now, Portland's flattened out energy-wise, and that's where they're going to have to pick it up. They're letting the ball move too freely at the offensive end. They're not reacting to the missed shots. Lakers are getting 2 or 3 chances.
Fox missed the floater pass and set sail for the other end and rams it home.
The Lakers are feeding the post with Robert Horry. Rasheed is guarding Robert Horry. When Horry cuts through, Rasheed is staying on Shaq.
Fox for 3. Kept alive by Horry. Fox again. First basket for Rick Fox.
And if you remember last week when Portland flattened out, this is what happened to them. The Lakers built that 13-point lead. So they've got to just stay within themselves. They got plenty of time. A 10-point game, as Wallace is telling his teammates.
Patterson does dive to the rim and draws the foul.
Yeah, but Phil Jackson is not going to take Shaq and Kobe out today.
And what you need is somebody that can give you a spark, and Patterson gets that loose ball and airmails it home for Portland.
Patterson returns here to the free throw line after he got the pass from Wallace, making the cut to the hoop, and Fox was tagged with number 3.
I mean, this game is a long way from done, and if Portland knows anything, if they can just find a way to compete and stay in it, the Lakers will give them one more shot at staying in this contest. 8-point game.
With over 5 minutes left in the third.
This is what the Blazers need to do. Get up 94 feet. Maurice Cheeks, a pregame plan was to have the Blazers defense get them into the game, bring Shaq away from the hoop.
Kobe. Trying to make the save over the top of Dale Davis, and they both rejoin the action here. Derek Anderson, quick move to the basket. And he lost it out of bounds.
Don't get frustrated if you're Portland. Maurice Cheeks up. Say, what is a foul here? How come none of my guys get to go to the free throw line?
Well, the good thing, Portland's been able to keep Shaq out of it offensively. They've not been able to see big numbers come from Shaq. Kobe's been carrying the load.
Shaq and 1. Dale Davis, the foul.
Shaq is moving. There's nothing you can do in that situation. The Blazers are gambling a lot. But when Dale Davis gets him in this position, you have to decide before he makes his move which way you're going to send him. You can't let him choose. Dale Davis has to say, look, I'm going to send him every single time to his turnaround jump jumper as opposed to his hook shot, and then they know where to come on the double team every time.
Zach misses the free throw after Dale Davis committed his 4th foul. Turnovers equal field goals. It's not good.
Shaq doesn't have to guard anybody out there. He's just resting right now.
Stoudemire, 15-footer, too hard. Davis deflected it. Good defense by Dale Davis. Derek Anderson, 3-on-2 break. And Anderson had it knocked away by Robert Horry.
In transition, Derek Anderson slashing by, ball off his leg. Bad call.
Inbounds to Wallace.
Even though Wallace has missed his last 4, he's going to have to be the driving force that brings him back. Ruben Patterson's going to get the foul inside against Rick Fox, but, you know, he is their most gifted offensive player. He shoots the highest percentage. He creates the most problems for the opposition. So even though he doesn't like to miss shots and he doesn't like to take a lot of shots, you're going to win the game. He's going to have to up his number.
Fox out with 4 fouls. Devin George replaces him.
Remember what Phil Jackson was telling us, though, in the pregame meeting, how this year's Blazers team does not have the spacing or the continuity or the fluidity to their offense. It's much more of an opportunistic team than it was a year ago.
Damon Stoudemire's been quiet today, averaging 14 a game. He has only 4. Anderson off the hands of Wallace, and Robert Horry has it.
We're seeing so many guys just jump in the air to pass the ball.
Shaq. Campbell's come in to try to defend him, and Shaq's called for the travel.
He had to take that extra step. He was trying to turn and power himself all at the same time.
Looking to the middle, setting it up. Yeah, definitely traveled. Picked up his right foot, which was his pivot foot on the reverse pivot there.
The left and right foot.
Patterson drives on Horry. Shaq over to help out. Foul call. Let's see. 3-4. It is on Shaq. That's number 2.
Give Ruben Patterson a lot of credit here. He is single-handedly trying to get his team back into this by lowering his head, just going to the hoop.
If you see Patterson out there, you know he's going to bring it, and he's going to bring it with some heat.
Don't miss your favorite NBC faces from the past and present as they come together for a live, one-time-only party. That's NBC's 75th anniversary special, coming to NBC Sunday in 2 weeks.
Critical time here for Portland. They're playing with both Pippen and Wallace on the bench. They're sitting over there conversing, but where's the offense going to come from? Because the Lakers are just steadily wearing the Blazers down at this point.
Well, they brought in the explosive Bonzi Wells. And remember, Wells is the guy that ignited them in Portland, had that 18-point fourth quarter of play. So, yeah, they got offense out there. It's just a question of whether they can produce it.
Shaq with a bad pass turns it over. Blazers ball when we return.
The Toyota 4Runner can take you places other vehicles can't, which could necessitate bringing on some additional equipment.
I intend to put you in harm's way.
You fight with honor, with courage, and with everything you have.
Archangel is down, and I am on the run.
Evade and survive, and we will bring you home.
Behind enemy lines, it's heart-pounding action that pushes DVD to the limit.
I'm not gonna let that kid die out there.
You will lose your command.
So be it. Let's go get our boy back.
Behind Enemy Lines. Own the DVD or rent the video Tuesday. Thursday, an all-new ER event.
Oh, God! My sister and her daughter are missing.
An episode that takes the ER to New York.
Jump in!
And with the help of the Third Watch team,
Chloe!
the search for her missing niece begins.
She's only 6 years old.
The first of 4 all-new ERs begins NBC Thursday.
Lakers with a 9-point lead, and the Stars are out as the playoffs open in Los Angeles. Dustin Hoffman is here. Regular Diane Cannon on hand. Andy Garcia sporting the beard. Glenn Fry of the Eagles. One of the great former players, former executive of the Lakers, Jerry West, watching from upstairs. Tony Dow, Jeffrey Osborne sang the national anthem before today's game. Jimmy Smits, and of course, in his courtside seat, Jack Nicholson surveys the action. Miss any of them? Did I get them all right?
No, I thought that Glenn Fry had a bad night's sleep at the hotel last night.
He was at the Hotel California.
Well, okay, I knew that.
Bonzi Wells dribbling his way out of harm's way, and Derek Anderson hits a long range two.
Portland's bench did the job in the first half. It was spearheaded by Anderson. He's going to have to help bring them back. It's a 7-point game, so Portland is still in the hunt, and they just got to keep their energy and their competitive attitude up.
Shaq doubled. Kobe couldn't get the roll. Kemp fouled by Kobe Bryant. Loose ball foul on Bryant, chasing his miss.
We have really seen this weekend a lot of players on the defensive end, instead of closing out on open players, they just run by him, and it just allows numerous opportunities.
Damon Stoudemire sits. Steve Kerr is in, as Sean Kemp toes the line.
You know, and Portland went into that stall, but, you know, a shot by Anderson, it's 7. If Kemp gets both of these, it's 5. And with 2 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the third, they're right back in it. But he missed that one badly.
Yeah, bricked that one. Damon Stoudemire hasn't gotten much done today. Stoudemire 1 of 6 shooting in the game, 4 points, as Kemp zeroes in on the second foul shot. Full court pressure from the Trailblazers. George turning and shooting. And knocks it down from 15 feet.
That's one of the things that they worked on to try to relieve pressure. A flash from the weak side, and Devin George getting his chance to continue to make an impression on Phil Jackson that he can play for.
He's hit all 3 of his shots, 7 points. What's not to like? Meanwhile, Derek Anderson has hit 2 in a row.
But what Devin George is doing is that he's making a great ball fake on a pass to get the defense moving in the other direction, and then he's just turning and executing.
And fouled by Kemp.
Yeah, they're calling They had to call that on Shunkin. He was trying to convince the referee to do otherwise.
And Kobe got right at point-blank range, missed it, and one thing that Kobe is, he's quick to recover to the ball, and all 3 times he was the first guy to get to the ball and will go to the line.
Kobe's hit 7 of 22 field goal attempts today.
He hasn't shot it that well. He started out great, and he's been, up and down. He started the third quarter, blistering, and then he cooled off. So it's been a struggle. But there's one thing about Kobe. He's not going to stop.
That's right.
Not going to stop attacking.
And he shouldn't. Who else are you going to have shoot on the team besides Shaq? Every single one of these guys are complementary players to the main stars as Shaq takes a well-deserved rest.
Replaced by Samaki Walker, and Brian Shaw comes in for Derek Fisher.
Quiet quarter for Shaq, 5 as he goes to the bench.
Kobe Bryant just getting his first 2 of the fourth quarter.
The greatest of players score when the team is behind.
What?
When you're ahead, there's no need to score. Let the other guys go.
I said fourth quarter, still the third, Bill. Sorry. These little short naps are great.
I don't understand that. You got to score all the time. You can't say, well, we're behind and now start scoring.
Kobe. Rebounded by Kemp. Kobe Bryant giving Anderson a little room. Bonzi Wells for 3.
A little casual there. Remember, it was Bonzi's three-point barrage last week that got Portland turned alive. But right now, a little bit of a lull in the action. The crowd is kind of falling asleep here.
30 seconds in the third. Kevin George missing, but an offensive board by Samaki Walker.
Well, Samaki Walker was right at the basket. Why don't you go back up? They pull it back out. They're going to hold for 1.
Ori to George. Susan Wills, and the Blazers can get the final shot. Nice catch by Derek Anderson. And they'll hold for the final shot of the third.
And again, if you end the quarter with the bucket in your Portland, you got a little juice going for you. You're feeling pretty good.
Derek Anderson juices one down. He has 14 off the Portland bench.
I mean, it's only a 6-point game, and it's been a huge struggle for Portland to get points.
As the third quarter comes to a close, and the Portland Trailblazers, thanks to a good quarter by Derek Anderson, are still within striking distance.
This is why you always have to keep scoring, Bill, no matter whether you're ahead or behind. You gotta score points.
The Blazers are behind, and that's why these guys should attack.
But they're not behind by that much. At the end of 3 quarters, they trail the defending champions 68-62. We'll be back to Los Angeles after these words from your local NBC station.
Introducing the totally transformed 2003 Corolla. With more room than ever before, it just wants to have fun.
The electricity at the WNBA game is totally awesome. It's an experience like no other.
Having the fans come out and support us is a wonderful feeling. Everyone with their face painted, whether it's the pom-poms, we will not exist without you.
We are women that play hard. We're not afraid of banging and sweating. We play because we truly love the game. It's all in here in our heart.
For WNBA tickets, call 1-877-WNBA-TIX or visit WNBA.com.
A decade of Dateline, Tuesday, 10/9 Central on NBC.
Indiana's rivers are a polluted mess.
Plenty of showers off to the west.
The hair hasn't come back yet.
Very good.
All right. Police reports this morning of an unidentified bunny.
How can you be so perky this early in the morning?
Increasingly cloudy skies.
I'm expecting a really big phone call. Hello.
Can't wait to see your answering machine.
Truth, justice, and daffodils for all.
You're a funny guy.
Why do they call you Rooster? Oh, I get it.
NBC 33's News Today, 4:55 to 7 a.m.
America's best-selling luxury SUV now has a stylish limited edition. The Lexus RX 300 Coach Edition with 2 complimentary coach bags, a premium leather-trimmed interior, and bird's eye maple accents. Consider the road properly accessorized. See Lexus of Fort Wayne.
Friends, weeknights at 7, right here on NBC 33.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Portland Trail Blazers in the playoffs for the 20th consecutive year, the top current streak in the NBA. But this season, they've got to figure out how to win on the road against the best of the West.
Yeah, if you want to be champion and you start in the 6th seed, you definitely have to win on the road, and Portland has not been able to win on the road against the best, so they've got to start here in the 4th quarter. They're within 6. Their bench is giving them a chance to get back in the ball game. Patterson and Anderson carrying the juice and the offensive load. So, Tom, go to work.
The lowest seed to win the championship in my memory was in Houston in '95 when Akeem carried everyone on those broad shoulders.
Rasheed Wallace. They go back to Rasheed on the low post. He opened the 3rd quarter with a couple of buckets from that position, and he opens the 4th with his 21st point.
And that broke a real solid string of bench production of Anderson and Patterson for Portland, who had 11 of the Blazers' previous 12 before Rasheed's turnaround jumper in the post.
Bryant.
The ball movement, player movement that they want to get, they're not getting from Kobe Bryant. Anderson.
Derek Anderson and one as Bryant trying to defend Derek Anderson. He gave him a head fake, took the ball to the rim, and a 3-point opportunity.
Blazers come out to start the 4th quarter on fire here. The turnaround jumper initially, and then on a long rebound, Steve Kerr made a beautiful touch pass. It got Derek Anderson into the open court, and he wrong-footed Kobe there. And Kobe has size and athleticism on virtually everybody he plays against. Derek Anderson used the guile and the quickness of that wrong-footed leap to get there first.
They take Kobe out.
Derek Fisher in as Anderson completes the 3-point trip. And suddenly the Blazers are within 1. Derek Anderson has scored 9 points in the last 4 minutes and has 17 in the game. Fisher takes it home and one.
Well, the play started at the other end when Shaq led him with this pass, and then he was able to beat the defense of Steve Kerr, got nicked a little bit, and he'll have a chance for a 3-point play, and Kobe leading the celebration.
Derek Fisher, the only other player on the Lakers to average in double figures other than Shaq and Kobe. What he has done in terms of recovering from stress fractures in consecutive years to his navicular in his foot, that is truly an amazing accomplishment.
Something, unfortunately, you know all too well.
That's the worst thing that could possibly happen in terms of stress fractures to your feet.
Patterson and George really fighting for position, and Phil is up saying he's holding my guy, but Devin George is going to get called for the foul.
His first.
They still haven't gone, this being the Portland Trailblazers, to Rasheed in the post against Shaq. Not even one attempt.
Well, they want to run the pick and roll, and they open it up for Patterson.
And Patterson pounds it down. Ruben Patterson's had a good offensive game, 11 points. Brian Shaw racing to the hoop. Delayed it.
You got to take your poison one way or the other. Shaq is standing there. Wallace didn't want to go over because he knew it'd get dumped off, and it'd be a dunk anyway.
I think you're better staying with Shaq and let Brian Shaw get a layup.
Wallace shoots over Shaq from outside and came up way short. Fisher nearly traveled. Got it to Fox. Oh! Shaq.
Now that time, Rasheed Wallace decided to go for the block. Shaq just gobbled up the offensive rebound. He picked his poison and he picked the wrong one, forcing Maurice Cheeks into another timeout.
Well, the Lakers have been aggressive early, and no standing around, and the results have been positive for the LA Lakers.
What about keeping your man in front of you?
Blazers cut it to 1, and the Lakers go on a 9-2 sprint.
NBA playoffs continue on NBC with a triple header next Saturday, noon Eastern.
Lottie-dottie, we likes to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're
just some men that's on the mic. And when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic right. For all of y'all, keeping y'all in health.
Just to see you smile and enjoy yourself. Cause it's cool when you cause a cozy condition that we create. Cause that's our mission, so listen to what we say.
Cause this type of thing happens every day.
Introducing McDonald's new Chicken Select Strips. So, what do you want?
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Don't tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really wanna zig a zig ah.
Here's a brand new medicine, here's all in.
The Accord V6 from Honda. Designed to give the driver total control.
Boogie woogie tonic and it makes you wanna I was so darn fragile, I was flattering the breeze.
At least that was the original idea.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the Honda Accord. It's advanced, it's roomy, it's the Accord. By new Lotrimin Ultra, the only once-a-day cure for athlete's foot. And by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold down easy. 9:59 on the clock. Game one of this opening round playoff series between the Lakers and the Blazers. And the bench giving the Blazers a lift, keeping them in it. Chiefly Derek Anderson.
Yeah, Pippen is back in the game along with Stoudemire, and this is a point in the ball game where Portland wants to make a move and keep the move going.
Ruben Patterson, ball fake, wouldn't go down. Shaq batted it to Fisher.
The basket area is open because Shaq is now matched up with Rasheed Wallace. He has to stay at home there. Blazers have been much better off going small this afternoon.
Stoudemire tried to slip in there and blindside Shaq. That count and a foul.
It's too tough for Wallace, you know, and everybody says, you know, you got to have Wallace play against him, but he's too big and too mobile, and even though Wallace is a shot blocker, he's trying to make the block against the guy that's going to take the hit and finish the play at 2 feet away, and that you got to get Dale Davis back in there to take some of that pressure off Wallace, who's now showing some signs of fatigue at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it hurts him offensively, too, because he expends so much energy and being pounded on and leaned on all the time by Shaq.
I completely disagree.
We would be disappointed if you didn't.
Let's hear the statement.
Well, lost it, but he was fouled by George. Here is Dale Davis coming back for Portland. And Derek Anderson will report to the bench.
Phil Jackson counters immediately with Robert Horry. Now Shaq will have the opportunity to rest on defense. Robert Horry will have the individual matchup with Rasheed Wallace.
At some point before these 9 minutes are over, Bill, you could explain your theory to Tom and I about why Wallace should stay on it.
Here's Rasheed on the offensive end, drawing a crowd and stepping to the line.
Because Dale Davis is not going to be able to stop Shaq. Dale Davis is no stronger or bigger than Rasheed Wallace.
He's used to this, and Wallace is your scorer. You've got to be able to keep your score fresh, and you've got to make sure that he doesn't get in foul trouble. You're losing him if he gets nicked up with foul.
How many fouls does Rasheed have?
Nobody's going to stop Shaq anyway.
Absolutely.
What Snapper's trying to say.
No, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's
Rasheed has two.
Rasheed has two. This is a game where you play both ends of the court. And if Rasheed can't stop Shaq, what's to say that Shaq can stop Rasheed Wallace. Let's go back to the 80s, Lakers-Celtics. Celtics didn't believe they could beat the Lakers until Kevin McHale proved that he could score on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Unusual, isn't it, that number for Kobe Bryant? Kobe got rid of it to Fox for three. And Fox deflects that one. Bonzi Wells able to save it, though. Stoudemire.
Oh, not a good looking shot for Damon.
Ori and Wells jump ball.
Damon is struggling this afternoon, and they've got to, they've got to get that point production from somewhere. So we might see Derek Anderson re-enter the ball game. But again, the lead is back to 10 right now. 8:24 to go in the game, and Portland still has a shot at getting in the game. But numbers like that make it rough. Confusion about where the bodies are supposed to be in the lineup, and they finally get them right, and Fox makes the save on the tip.
Lakers with the ball, leading by 10. There's over 8 minutes left on the clock in game one. Shaq down low, fouled by Davis.
This is such a great move by Shaq.
Beautiful move, no basket. It's the fourth foul on Dale Davis. Oh, excuse me, number 5 on Davis.
Davis does a fine job of keeping Shaq really far away from the hoop, but if he's going to make that shot, there's nothing you can do other than retaliate on the offensive end, and that's where Dale Davis can't contribute.
Portland is what they are as a team, and so they're going to have to make it happen with better ball movement, player movement.
28 for Kobe. Patterson is back in as Davis sits down with 5 fouls.
A great indication just how terrific a player Kobe Bryant is.
Stoudemire's 1 for 8.
Rick Fox.
Kobe is isolated against Scottie Pippen. The hard lunge to the basket, and Scottie basically falls down there. Only his own individual athletic brilliance able to maintain his balance. And Kobe just popping right up and drilling it.
And now Ruben Patterson will go to the free throw line after Rick Fox has picked up his 5th foul. Still 7:47 left in the 4th quarter, and the penalty in effect.
This could be the saving grace for the Trailblazers. They're struggling to score from the field. Take that ball to the rim, get to the line, get some points cheap. Stop the clock. Every time you stop the clock, you give yourself a chance to stay in the ball game. Patterson can make it a 10-point game.
And he does.
The Blazers come right with their full court pressure.
Portland's defense is up, and when their defense is up, that means the Lakers' offense isn't going to be as good. They're against the clock now.
Guarded by Wallace. Bryant for 3. Kobe way off on that one. Wallace hands to Stoudemire. Patterson. Pippen. Lucky it wasn't picked off. Pippen 3 goes down.
Very fortunate for Scottie Pippen. I mean, this seems as if they were very careless on that possession. They're in a situation where virtually every time they touch that ball, they've got to be flawless.
Just past the 7-minute mark. Shaq on Wallace. Rebounded by Pippen.
And Wallace got hit. He got hammered by Shaq, and he's hurt.
7 rebounds for Scottie, and a timeout will be called because Rasheed is a little worse for wear.
That's what happens when you fool around with a Mack truck. You get hit, and now you're saying, this is not good.
This is not about milk and cookies, Steve. This is about men playing for the ultimate prize out there.
It is the NBA playoffs on NBC.
The Civic HX from Honda.
Longfellow Deeds is a small-town guy.
Just going to the pharmacy. Let me get you there a little quicker. How's your wife? She's fine.
Who's about to receive $40 billion.
Are you sure about that?
Now, he's headed for the big city, where he's discovering there's a surprise.
The biggest story of the year, and we've got nothing?
I'm all over this.
Around every corner.
Ooh, there he is. Help, I'm being knocked!
Don't worry, I'll get him. Oh, shoot. Are you okay?
I just need to walk it off.
From the producers of Big Daddy.
I met this girl. I think she's the one.
Remember, I'm Pam Dawson, virgin school nurse.
That's priceless. You a virgin.
This summer, one man is going to teach high society.
All right, baby, I'm ready for you. Sorry about that, dude.
Some small-town fun.
Am I out or safe?
Adam Sandler.
I got wicked bad frostbite when I was in the Scouts. I got no feeling left in it. Just whacked my foot. Don't be nervous. Go ahead.
Oh, you're sick! You're sick! Why would you do that to me? I'm just kidding you, pal.
Mr. Deeds.
Gotta ask you, if it hits you, is it my point or yours? Yours. Well, I'm winning then, I guess.
Rated PG-13. In theaters everywhere June 28th.
Next weekend, the NBA playoffs continue on NBC. Next Saturday at noon Eastern, a triple header. The Hornets take on the Magic, the Kings meet the Jazz, and the Spurs face the Sonics. Next Sunday at noon Eastern, another triple header. The Celtics take on the Sixers, the Mavericks meet the Timberwolves, plus the Lakers and the Blazers. Crucial Game 3s next weekend.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. You see Rasheed Wallace. They took timeout because he hurt his arm when he came down on that last play. He refused treatment from Jay Jansen, told him to get away. I want to stay in the game. So the trainer stayed away. He stays in the game. Tom?
All right, Jim, but the Trailblazers now down to just one full timeout. No 20s.
Tough break there. They had a great play going, and Wells couldn't control it. 8 on the clock.
And a nice move, but couldn't finish it.
Rasheed is really grimacing out there. He can't seem to get himself right physically. Now he's got to go up against Shaq.
Kobe. 30 for Kobe. 6 minutes left. Los Angeles 7 of 11 in the quarter.
Well, this is the time Portland's got to keep making shots.
There's one. A three-pointer by Wallace.
And with Shaq guarding Rasheed Wallace now, they can run the pick and roll. Shaq's not going to come out on that. The penetration and the step back will work every time.
25 for Rasheed.
It's a 6-point game right where it was at the end of 3, so this one's still up for grabs.
Three. Shaq tapped it, but Stoudemire comes up with it for Portland.
Great position, Wallace.
Bonzi Wells. Wasn't that a quick shot from too far out?
Bonzi has not looked good since the opening quarter. And he was so special, so fired up and ready to go.
Opportunity.
Two possessions ago, Kobe Bryant comes down and dazzles us with the finger roll down the lane. The next time, a little handoff from Shaquille. Kobe working on his circus shots at this point. Definitely in the zone offensively.
Well, he's looking for a big finish, and he's over 25 attempts, and he's got 30 points. So he's got the numbers that he produces in the wins for the Lakers.
You hear the chant of Kobe, Kobe from the crowd. He scored the last 7 Laker points. Remember that last quick shot that Bonzi Wells took? Right. He's on the bench. Derek Anderson's in.
Is that called a hook shot?
We got the hook after that shot. Derek Anderson misses the jam. He was fouled.
Last year, Derek Anderson was so good at that play. He would just come in off the dribble and explode on the defense. Saw the seam, and this one is going to get the back iron, but Devin George gets a piece of his arm, so he's at the line. But he's been the guy that's been giving Portland some energy, along with Ruben Patterson off the bench.
Pretty good production.
Well, he's played instead of Bonzi Wells. He's got that right shoulder problem that he had separated in game 1 of the San Antonio-Dallas series a year ago, the second round of the playoffs. Got undercut. It didn't last long for Ori on the bench.
George out, Ori in.
Come back, one more look at the effort.
Whoa.
Yeah, he got whacked right around that shoulder area, and that's probably the reason. Maybe every time he gets hit there from now on in his career, he's going to be touching it.
You can look at him. I mean, his collarbone, his shoulder blade, it just doesn't look natural and fluid to him right there.
He toughed it out, though, and hit the 2 free throws. He has 19. For 3. Anderson all alone for the rebound, and he spots Pippen up court. Scottie Pippen lays it in from Anderson.
And Portland won't go away. 5-point game, Tom.
Who's going up with Ori in transition? No one. Well, that's Scottie Pippen's man. And he was out in transition from his own.
Patterson low post against Kobe. Kobe tying up. Kobe advertises himself as the Reuben stopper.
Kobe, just an outstanding defensive player. None of the Lakers ever get credit for their defensive capabilities, but Kobe with 3 blocks on the afternoon. Kobe did receive votes for Defensive Player of the Year. That title going to Ben Wallace of Detroit. Our congratulations. We'll see him tonight.
He touched it last. Apparently the Lakers, it's the Blazers' ball, despite the pleas of Phil Jackson.
Well, this would be indicative that Jackson wants this game. He wants his first win. He's been up several times and barking in direction of the officials, and he knows this one isn't over. 7-point lead, 4 minutes to go in the game.
Pick and roll again with Rasheed on the ball.
Pippen left open for the 3, but he can't hit it. Draws the double team. Ball movement for the Lakers. Fisher's 3.
So many wide open guys. You got to worry about Kobe on one side, Shaq on the other. What's the team to do defensively?
Derek Fisher has a dozen points. Anderson challenging Shaq. Oh, what a shot, and he'll shoot one.
And that is the Derek Anderson of a year ago, making things happen. That time making his way and taking his shot and finding some way to get it to go in. And this is a pretty good effort by him against the power of Shaq.
And again, he wrong foots the bigger player. But let's go back to the opening game of the season. Steve, you were here for it. Derek Anderson, the big free agent acquisition. They send Steve Smith to San Antonio. Derek goes in against Shaq, sprains his ankle, a hard foul that was just called a regular foul. Just turned the whole season around. The Blazers never got off to the start they'd hoped to have to get a good playoff position.
It definitely set Derek Anderson back, but he has recovered 8 here in the 4th quarter.
22 in the game. George thought about the 3. Kobe. time bomb was ticking. But
well, it was Pippen and Wallace. They're both right there, and Kobe's on the spin, and he lost control of the ball. And they felt that, no touch, no contact. We need a break.
Tough call. It's number 4 on Pippen.
They're going to call that elbow there in the left ribs there for Kobe Bryant. Generally, when you come on a double team, the rule is you don't let him get out. You make him come through the middle, and you lock your feet together in the middle so he has no place to go.
Kobe missing his first free throw of the day. He's 11 of 12.
That's one of the ways you get a big number in terms of total points.
And his number is 34. Derek Anderson, he's been the offense. Devin Jones tripping him, and then Shaq snaps it away. And the Blazers will get it back.
Derek is down. Anderson.
Anderson trying to walk it off.
A wild spin, and then Shaq is right there to gobble it all up. The left-handed scoop. That's a great block.
So, what'd you guys do last night? Do.
Awesome.
That wasn't very bright.
Introducing a vehicle designed for your adventures in reality. The all-new, more powerful CR-V from Honda.
Free Up, the better way to prepay from Verizon Wireless, gives you more reasons to get connected and stay connected. Get set up with a great Kia Sera phone for only $69.99 after $30 mail-in rebate, which includes $15 worth of prepaid minutes. Hey, if you're already hooked up with Free Up, for a limited time, we'll throw in 200 bonus weekend minutes every time you re-up with $50 or more. So join in and free up, only at Verizon Wireless.
NBC tonight, it's another double order of Law & Order. First, an all-new criminal intent. Who killed the monster's daughter? The only way to solve this crime is to stay one step ahead. Then, a special Law & Order. Police! Back-to-back Law & Orders, NBC tonight, 9/8 Central.
There are great views from this real estate, but it's also very expensive and very dangerous. And on March 29th, Shaquille O'Neal showed that. Well, this afternoon, you can see Kobe Bryant, better high jumper, but the same real estate. The results are Derek Anderson is paying the price today as Shaq blocks the shot and then steps on his leg.
We can only hope he's okay. He's back in the lineup. That is a very, very dangerous play.
Anderson with a quick three. Set play off the out of bounds. It wouldn't go down. And the clock now showing 2 minutes, 36 seconds. And the Lakers with the lead in the ball.
Desperation time for Portland right now.
Well, not quite yet. They're in the danger zone. They've got to get a stop here, and then they've got to come back with the score.
Dale Davis defending Shaq. The ball slapped out to Pippen.
And They got the stop they needed. Now they've got to get a bucket, and they look to Wallace.
Rashid turns, can't hit. Off the hand of Fox. Portland gets another chance.
Ori said he wanted to turn Wallace to the baseline on both blocks. That time he got Wallace well behind the backboard there. Not a good angle. And the length of Robert Ori. Let's not forget Ori's a full 6'10" out there. Ori's really grimacing there. That stomach is not right. He's holding it.
Either slip or trip. In any event, the shot missed. Here's another one by Wallace right there. Cleared by O'Neal.
Robert Ori can't run up the court.
Wallace fouls Shaq, complains to Dick Pavetta. Wallace with that offensive rebound a moment ago was the first of the second half for Portland. Remember, they had 11 offensive rebounds in the first half. That was their first of the second half, and it came with just under 2 minutes left.
It's always tough to rebound the ball when you don't have ball movement, player movement. In that first half, they had a lot of activity. And their second half offense has been one pass and a shot, a drive and a shot. Ori is really hurting, but he's trying to grind this one out with 1:44 to go.
The two things we talked about at halftime for the Lakers were get more out of their forwards offensively. Fox, Devin George, and Robert Ori have all contributed, and then take care of their defensive boards, and they have made those adjustments. Kudos to Phil Jackson.
Okay. If you're Wallace, you got to take your time. You got stuck and tripped over some feet, got no whistle.
First turnover of the quarter by either team.
Blazers need a miracle at this point.
Shaq has 25 points today.
Well, that's a foul.
And Shaq head over heels. The fans were trying to catch him and hold him, but he was too much.
Nice to see the gentleman in the front row wearing the Wilt Chamberlain uniform here.
Shaq rolls in, and on the little push off the shoulder, he lost his balance and just continued to stumble in and around and over those seats. Well, he got a little help.
Some of these fans that paid big money for those seats might want a rebate if they keep getting pounded like that.
Well, particularly when Shaq's involved, because there's no way he's not going to get a piece of you. As we saw in that collision on the 29th, that guy ducked out of the way, and Shaq's big foot still got him. Dale Davis is done.
Most of his damage done in the opening minutes when he was looking very sharp.
Shaq uses all the board, but gets nothing. And Ori in pain to the bench, replaced by Devin George.
And trainer Gary Vidi's got his work cut out for him before the next game. Robert Ori will be doing constant therapy. Vidi standing right with Ori at this moment.
Well, for those that are injured, the next game isn't until Thursday, so they have plenty of time to try to get them recovered and ready to play. Portland's got to go back, and they've got to figure out how to continue to keep their offense. I think the defense was good enough, but when you can't make shots, you just can't win a big game against the Lakers.
Inside the final minutes.
Tough to get good shots against this team, Steve. This Laker defense, so solid, #1 in the NBA in opponent's field goal percentage.
The hook. Shaq today with 25 points and 9 rebounds. Pippen is fouled.
Kobe Bryant, and Bryant doesn't want to give up anything, and Pippen was on his way to the hoop, got a little piece of him, so Scottie Pippen will go to the line.
And a little conversation between Scottie and Rick Fox, Devin George, letting him know he doesn't like being hammered like that.
Zach Randolph, first appearance in the Portland lineup as Rasheed Wallace walks to the bench.
Wallace is not happy. You can tell by the pace and the way that he's walking back to that bench. You know, he's looking forward to Thursday, and he thinks that his team can compete against him.
Rick Bronson in replacing Stoudemire. The Blazers got virtually nothing from Stoudemire today.
Yeah, tough afternoon for Damon Stoudemire, and Wallace was ready to go. He was headed toward the locker room. They had to call him back and say, don't leave until the game is officially over.
And the three-peat chant comes from the rafters here at Staples.
There's 4-second differential, but Kobe looks like he's going to just dribble out the clock on this possession for the Lakers.
No, you never just dribble it out.
Shaq called for the offensive interference there.
4.5 seconds left as the Lakers about to take their first step toward a three-peat. Lakers win game 1 over the Trailblazers 95-87 behind 34 points from Kobe Bryant. We'll be back for final comments right after these messages.
Fly somewhere in the Acura TL Type S.
When you're on the go as much as this guy, you don't have time to worry about your calling plan. With Singular Nation, never pay long distance, never pay roaming. It's that simple. Sign up with Singular Nation and get 3,500 bonus minutes. Singular Wireless. What do you have to say?
I know a great shortcut up ahead. All I have to do is turn left, and I'm home 15 minutes faster, all downhill. Yeah, I know a great shortcut, but I'm not going to take it.
New Dr. Scholl's Advantage Powerwalk insoles are the only insoles with a soft gel system and flexible matrix arch specifically designed for the way a walker strides.
Like I said, no shortcuts.
New Dr. Scholl's Advantage Powerwalk insoles.
Look, feel, do better.
Behind 34 points from Kobe Bryant and 25 from Shaquille O'Neal, the Los Angeles Lakers win game 1 over the Portland Trailblazers. The final score, 95-87. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, don't miss a special Weakest Link, followed by Law and Order, Criminal Intent, and Law and Order. So for Bill Walton, Steve Jones, and Jim Gray, Tom Hammond saying so long from Los Angeles. You've been watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.